than like our ability to adapt, because we can't say like we're testing our skills.
Yeah.
We have none.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, yeah, we are. I like how you said it, resourcefuless.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
This.
I mean, I think we'll learn a lot more about what we need to pack, and what you can kind of do without, or what things you can't do without. I think overall, like our skills and creating landmarkers and directional and just like kind of like navigating through the woods. I think we won't have any trouble of like. I'm pretty sure there'll be lots of signage keeping us on the trail.
Oh yeah,
type of deal, you know what I'm saying? But
no,
I don't think you had to lay down here. No.
Flint it.
You better flint it, bro.
Let's see if we can flint this thing.
I should have brought those little fire starter thing. You gotta get that black stuff off. Once you get that black stuff off,
oh really?
Yeah, the metal underneath. Yeah. And once you get that going, you can start getting some good.
I don't think this is like the right.
I mean, let me see. Or maybe it might be a particular part you use on there. It should all be usable. I'm guessing that might be the rod you use, right?
Flint right there.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, once you get the black stuff off, you can get that exposed, and there you go.
Shit!
Yeah. Look, it's a fire going. There you go. Whoa, that's a good flint. Hey, there you go.
Oh no!
Let me see that real quick. Bro. That's pretty cool, bro. I love fucking with flint. That shit's badass. Yeah, we can make fire. There we go. Look at that.
That's pretty good flint too, ain't it?
Yeah.
The knife that comes with that though, it's like not a special kind, but it has like a special grip.
Yeah.
So you kind of like protect it and you get a better grip on it.
Yeah, what's something nice and rough on it, I'm
cool,
going.
man.
Yeah.
Huge.
Like, whoa. As I'm saying, like it's I didn't know what this like to expect with this fire starter pack I got, but it has like this weight stuff in a plastic pouch. And I wanted to test it out when I get home. I wanted to bring some so we could test in the yard or some shit. But like you can open the pack a little bit. You can break it up and put a little pile and hit it with a spark. And they say it'll just catch like immediately.
Oh, I've seen. Is that like that charcoal looking thing? It's rope, ain't it?
No, this one is just.
You know which one I'm talking about?
This is like a chemical. Dude, I think that's what I was gonna get before.
What I'm talking about is like a crazy invention, bro. It's this rope, and you pull strings from it, and it's literally like the most ignitable shit you could ever find. You never seen that? It's so.
Well, I think that's what they do with most fire starters. This one's like a chemical.
Nah, but you have to see this. This is already because a company that produces this.
It's
its own product.
Yeah.
It comes like a square, a rectangle like this big, but it's all individually ropes. So you pull it off and you can do whatever you want with that rope.
Gotcha.
And then light it.
Yeah.
And it burns forever, bro.
Gotcha,
like right away. Like it was really amazing.
I think I was gonna get something similar. They were just like little squares, and they looked like that, like it looked like a rope type of thing, But they were small squares for like campfires. This one's like it almost reminds me of like a C4 or something, like a plastic explosive. Cause it's like a hard white material, and you can break it up. And you can use a lighter to light the plastic on the outside and it acts like a fuse.
Oh, that's
cool. You can open it up and use a small little bit and then hit it with a flint. And this, as soon as you get a spark catch, it'll just go up in flames.
Right.
And I mean, it says one of those packs burns up in like 10 minutes. I'm just like, hey, this should be, pretty easy to get a fire going. You know what I'm saying? It's like, if we can't identify some tinder and stuff out while we're out there, you know what I'm saying? Because we've never done that before, so we're not going to rely on that.
Right. I mean, I feel like we should try it, it first, right?
Yep. Yeah, 100%.
Like, I mean, we're also have more shit. I mean, we're also acquiring things, we have more technology next time we go, all types of shit,
Yeah. Okay. Oh, there you go. You got a little latch right there.
Yeah, but you can't do it unless you slide that piece off. I mean, close it and then try to use a latch.
Oh, what piece slides off? It's weird.
Right there.
Oh, it's like a lot. Oh, it's weird.
It's weird, ain't it? I know. I've never seen it.
You can keep it locked. Yeah. Or you can keep it down. So if you keep it down.
Keep it unlocked if you want to, right?
Yeah, and bomb.
Right.
See, I wish the one I got, it was like $12. I'm like, well, it doesn't need to cut stuff, and it doesn't need to be too crazy. It's like a little $12 Smith and Wesson. And I go to flick it, and then the thing like sticks like right here. I'm just like, man, you piece of shit. So I gotta give it more of like a to get it out there.
Bro, you need to
I need to loosen it. You think I need to loosen it a little
100%, 100%. Yeah. You need to just a little tiny bit, bro.
Yeah,
probably. Tiny bit.
Yeah.
And maybe some WD.
Yeah. But I have these little Bray got me his little like paracord bracelets, but I thought it was like, like whatever, But when you unhook the pieces that hook together, the middle prong is a piece of flint. And I thought that was pretty cool. So I was striking that bitch earlier, and that thing was pretty cool, itself. I mean, if you need one in emergency,
it's dope.
Has a little compass on it and stuff. And if you need rope, it's a little, you undo it, paracord bracelet. But I mean, I think I'm not sure what type of challenges we can really expect to come across or what we're gonna have difficulty with. I mean, of course, doing like a bow drill fire, that might be very fucking difficult, But other than that, and then doing water stuff, other than that, I think everything else is just gonna be kind of is what it is.
Okay, I'll tell you my biggest concern for both of us, but really even more you. I mean, it's nothing against you, but like just bigger body, bro. The 40 miles itself.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, seriously, like I can't, like you tell me 40 miles when I'm 16. I mean, it's not the fact that I'm older. It's the fact that I used to walk so much more.
Yeah,
like
exactly,
I legit don't do long walks like that, So now we're trying to crunch it down into 3 days. We didn't do no prepping. You know what I mean? It's not like me and you've been walking the last couple
months. With a weighted pack,
You know what I mean? Yeah. We ain't really did nothing like that.
Yeah.
So I'm just worried, like, I know I'm going to be feeling it. So I'm worried about, I know you're carrying even more husk than me. You know what I mean? So I'm worried about, like, maybe we get up and go, we go hard that Saturday, but like that Sunday gets us, You gotta be careful the way you like that, bro. You'll boat that bitch easy like you just did.
What's up?
With that little wild light like that.
Well, this edge wasn't burning every day. I was trying to hit it up.
I like to come in a corner.
That's why I was trying to hit that part because that part wasn't burning. I ain't boated. I had this bitch boated.
I just watched them boat it.
We'll run it back.
Burn it till he boated it.
We'll run it back, bro.
It's too chaotic. Like if you were trying to do a specific thing, you need to be stationary with this thing.
I'm used to my smaller thing too.
Yeah. I'm gonna show you how I just kind of catch that end. You know what I'm saying? Like
with the smaller one, I turn that flame all the way down to kind of preserve it.
Oh
touch
yeah.
it out real quick. You know what I'm saying? And you get burned a little.
Got the butane on me if you ever need a dog. Got the restock.
I'll bring mine over so I can get a refill.
Yeah, got plenty of it.
I'm worried about the distance, but I think it's something like I can't anticipate any point where like I won't be able to go on unless you sprain an ankle or some shit. I feel like you can like push through that.
Right, but it ain't just going on because we have a time crunch.
Oh yeah.
We have a certain amount of time. Like that Saturday, we need 20 miles, dude.
Yeah. Ain't no sleeping in.
I don't know. Really understand
20 miles we might not be able to do. You know what I'm saying?
We need 20 miles Saturday, Steve. It's really not a.
Well, this is what I'm thinking because we get such a late start Friday. I'm not sure if we're gonna be able to make our full. I'm not sure if it's possible. They go 50 miles in 3 days or so. You know what I'm saying? Oh, well, we're pretty much 2 days.
Now you're firing me up.
You know what I'm saying?
I'll make it, Steven. Bro, we have nothing else to do.
Especially when, I mean, from the time we get up and then leave camp.
We get up early,
then, because we got to break camp down,
Well, we're going to bed early, too. You're not going to stay up till fucking 2 a.m.,
exactly.
I'd imagine, right?
Well, I mean, I'm also not sure how good the sleep's going to be. It might be shit sleep because you're on a ground and then you have, your tarp and then you have your sleeping bag. It might not be the best sleep.
I've never had that problem. I know I can sleep anywhere, dude. I'm good on the sleep. I get what you're saying. Maybe your body be sore or something like that, but I'm asleep.
I've always been able to fall asleep wherever and pretty easily when I'm tired. But I'm worried you're out there, you got a little bit more adrenaline, you know what I'm saying? And you're just kind of just
yeah.
Well, man, especially we do start a pretty legit ass fire. We're just
couple beers and
you know what I'm saying? You're just fuck yeah.
We're a shitload of weed.
Good.
So you
I'm
smoked 5 blunts at 11 o'clock at night.
That's all I'm saying. I'm packing my rolling tray, keep some backwoods on us.
A rolling tray? I want to go do that.
Well, I mean, I was like, well, what are we gonna do out there? You know what I'm saying? I mean, I can pack it real quick.
Rock.
Mine's pretty little.
I feel like a rock be cool.
Mine's half the size of yours, right here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I mean, I think it won't be that hard.
I'm just saying anything's a rolling tray, but yeah, it doesn't weigh nothing. So
yeah, but I'm worried. You go to put that rock that rolls over, and you're just I think the most stressful thing we come across.
You win, nature.
What'd you say?
You won this one, nature.
We roll up a stemmy, leafy ass, full of like ground foliage in the backwood and shit. Whereas I'm
thinking about doing some crazy shit out there, bro. I
want to try some shit. You know what I'm saying?
I'm saying even as far as everything. I'm gonna roll, extendo backwood.
What's time out there, you know what I'm saying?
Got time.
That's what I'm saying.
Well, I figure let's say that Saturday morning we wake up, it's 7:30, we eat breakfast, 8:30, we're heading out. We're extended backwood and start walking. No need for us to smoke while we're sitting still.
The worst feelings if we get out there and we go to do something, we're just well, that's on the list of needs. That's on the list of things we might need to bring next time. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, I think we've covered all bases. You know what I'm saying?
I'm worried about nothing else than the trek itself.
Yeah.
That's simply what I'm worried about is us
Yeah.
putting the time in and also enjoying it, you know?
And
Definitely next time that was a mistake. Definitely next time I will take the day off. I will take time off.
That's the thing I was worried about too. Was like, yeah, we have the time crunch, but we also have a lot of things we want to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, our first day set of camp, you know, on a Friday, we're already getting out there pretty late. You know, so I mean,
that's
like,
why, so the way I pictured it is, we get out there Friday, dude, just trek. Like seriously, like not even like leisure mode. You know, that's not a fun day. Is the way I'm looking at it. Like literally get as far as we can that Friday before we have to set up camp.
Yeah.
That camp that Friday night, we can enjoy that. You know what I mean? Have a good little night, do a couple things, a little ass. So who knows how we do that? You know
exactly. Yeah.
But then Saturday morning, get up real early, bro. And I just want to put that time in, dude. Like, I know we can walk pretty far, bro.
Yeah, like we've never walked 10 miles. I walked 5 before, you know, and that was pretty.
From
you know,
my house to fucking Kaplan Glass, you know.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, you know, that's like a good 4. You know,
that's 4 miles, dude.
Oh yeah, definitely.
From my house to there,
right here, or yours are over there,
Charlotte.
Yeah, about 4. Because
it's more than that.
It's barely 3 miles from my house downtown. You know.
To Kaplan though, it's like that left.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, once you get downtown, you know, I don't think
nothing.
I don't think it's an extra mile. Like you might be looking, like I said, from your house to there, you might be looking at like 4, maybe 4.25. You know, because like I said, from my house where I'm at is barely 3 miles. It's like 2.8.
I think you're looking at it like a straight way. Like walking though, I had to like go through the back way up Light Street, you know, to get to Boston Street. Walk all the way up Boston. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't like a straightaway. I feel like I walked like 8 miles that day.
I'm not sure. Okay, because the way I'm thinking about it,
I'm going like
Charlotte, you hit Holabird to Boston, and if you follow Boston follows the water all along the inside.
Look, my job's right here, though, right? My job's right here next to the stadiums at the time. I have to walk all the way down to Light Street, bro. That's not a short walk, bro.
Oh yeah,
right. That's already like a half a mile right there,
yeah.
just to get to Light Street to go up.
Yeah.
So then I have to go all the way up to forget that fucking street. God damn it!
It's
the one that Light Street connects to.
The most I'll give you is 5 miles max on what that.
I feel like
is,
that what I walked was farther than that. I really do. I feel like as far as the way I had to go. But yeah, you're probably right, somewhere around 5.
Yeah, because when I did my biking shit, I would go from my house over down Street Bridge and then go down to Boston, and I'll follow Boston along the water, and then go all the way down Lake Street to Charles and go straight up Charles from there. And that was like 3.2 ish.
Okay, yeah, so you're probably right then. Yeah, probably about 5.
But so I'm adding on the distance from my house to Charlotte.
So I didn't do shit.
There, you know, well 5 is, I mean, you know, unweighted, 2. You know,
I didn't do shit. That was after a full work day. You know what I mean? On a Friday.
Yeah, no, definitely. You know, I don't want you to think I'm underestimating the trek at all.
Well, you just said that basically you think we can't make it.
Because all the stuff we're doing, you know what I'm saying? All the stuff we're doing and what just might be like, you know, I think when you're looking at like a 10 to 15 mile day and a certain amount of hours and you're adding another 5 on top of that, you know, it's just like, I'm like, okay. And then you also want to be able to set up camp. You don't want to set up when it's too dark out, you know? That type of thing. So I mean, like, I just don't know. You know, I just don't know. It's hard to guesstimate time. I don't know how long.
I think we have to make it though. I don't know if you get picked up somewhere else, dude. I don't know how it works. Maybe at the next stop. But I don't know. I don't want to say that. Like, I want to go for it. I want to go full throttle for it, bro.
Yeah. So
like the trek itself, you know, I feel like is the most important part. Like proving that me and you can make that journey. Rather we made it unhealthy or not, right? If you said there ain't no provisions from here to here, me and you would make that journey 40 miles. You know what I mean?
I was saying, when that place camped out, it had markers for like campsites and stuff. But I mean, like, you know, we could always overshoot those, just camp in the middle, you know, whatever.
I don't think you can do that. I know you keep saying that. I don't think you can do that. I don't know how if you can walk through the night and maybe go to the next spot though, like that where tents are set up. But I don't think you can just set up wherever you want, dude.
I'm not sure. You know, I mean, to me, it just wouldn't make sense on an Appalachian trail. You know, like you can't just camp off the trail real quick. You know what I'm saying?
It's a backpacking trail, though. It's like, I don't know.
I know.
It's like a government route type of thing, you know?
I mean, we're on a section.
I don't think they want you in random places.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't do a full deep dive on where's permitted of just like free camping.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I read multiple spots where it's.
I mean, like it's like, well, I mean, if we have to, who's gonna who's gonna come out that late at night and be like, yeah, y'all can't camp here?
That's a damn good question.
You know, so I'm like, well, I mean, one night you set up off a trail real quick,
or like, are you allowed to just trek through the night?
I mean, like the thing I say about that is like, what would be the worst case scenario? Like, someone comes in the middle of the night and they're just like, hey, you know, y'all can't camp here. We're
You're
gonna
gonna make us
ATV you to
get
the
up?
next campsite. You know, it's
You're gonna
like
make us pack up.
you know, like
Sucks.
that's what I'm saying. Like, what are they gonna make us do from there?
Give
you
him
know?
a 20.
Your money's no good out here in the wilderness, bro. That's what it costs you at least 6 pine cones, dog.
You're on an ATV that takes gas. You know what I mean? I mean,
Yeah.
I know you want more gas, right? So
I mean,
money matters something out
I'm just
here.
not sure what they could possibly do. You know, they could kick us out, and I mean, I don't, you know, what I'm saying I don't know any of the rules, bro. It's the first time going out. If we go and we try and skip that campsite, because one of the campsites they have an 8-mile separation. I was like, well, we're gonna hike 8 miles and stop. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't seem like we can do that on a time crunch. We might have to skip a site, you know.
Yeah, we got to be ready to go basically as soon as I get home, and definitely try to get there with some daylight.
Yeah, you know.
I mean, how far is it till we even drop off site?
Hour 30
to drop off site.
Yeah. AT trail, bro. Wow. It'll be tight. It'll be tight, you know? You know what I'm saying?
It might just be camp that Friday, man. It might just be camp that Friday.
Yeah. I mean, you know, who
But then
knows?
It's like Saturday. You're just requesting too much of the human body.
Yeah, well, we could actually, and I mean, like I said, it's all gonna be weighted. We're still not sure what our final pack weight is. You know what I'm saying?
We don't have an estimate.
Yeah, no.
We really know nothing, dude.
That's one of the exciting parts too, you know what I'm saying? Because you can go out with the water we're taking, you can survive 3 days.
It's like, are we switching our goal though to just like
No.
have fun?
No,
or are we actually trying to make that?
No, we're gonna do that. Yeah, we're gonna try and do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, going in.
I feel like it's possible if you put your head down and grind for it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like we're probably getting picked up 5 o'clock Sunday, 6 o'clock Sunday, maybe. You know, just get in there.
Yeah. So I mean, you know, like it's just hard to estimate with time frames.
Seems like it's all gonna be about that Saturday.
You know, and then like this might be the thing where like you might look and be like, you know, the dudes I used to laugh at with the hiking sticks, you know, might actually know something. Where it's like, okay, yeah, maybe next time you want double hiking stick. You know, it's like,
think so.
I
know what you mean. Yeah,
there's a reason people use them. Obviously, I just don't see the benefit. But I mean, like,
I want nothing in my hand.
You know, exactly. You know, I don't want to be able, like, if I have to climb something, climb it real quick.
If I want to climb them, I mean, you could always drop them, but you know, bring them with you.
And that's the other thing where I'm whatever. That's the other thing where I'm sitting. I'm thinking, I'm like, okay, you know, if anything else, you know, it's like that's our goal, you know, 100%. I'm not going in conceding to that goal at all. And you know, the whole idea is to do that, but it's also, you know, to learn. You know, it's gonna be what part of our learning.
Well, I just would like to know, you know,
and we'll plan better next time.
If it is, you know, up front, like, hey, man, you know, we're not going to be able to make this. Like, I think it's okay to say that to ourselves and be like, all right, well, then let's really enjoy what we do go past, right? Like, I think if it does come to that point, we should make that agreement.
Yeah,
where we're like, hey, bro, we're probably not going to make that. Yeah. Let's just go, you know, we'll have fun on our way to this camp, and tomorrow morning we'll walk to that next spot, and they can get us from there or whatever it is, you know?
Exactly, you know? You know, so I mean, like, that's why I'm not too like pressed or worried about it. You know, like we're gonna go and do what we do, and we're gonna push, and we're gonna hike hard, and we're gonna grind. And but I mean, like, we're also not gonna take the fun out of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I never, you know, like I'm not going in with like any type of like certain expectations of like, you know, like I mean, like I expect us to try stuff and do things, and like really try and learn as much as we can out there. You know. But and at the end of the day, it's what's really this first trip's really about, you know. We're really trying to prepare ourselves so that, you know, to lead up to like a 5-day or some shit, you know, where we hike 100 miles on the Appalachian real quick, you know what I'm saying, or some crazy shit like that, and actually plan right and go from there. I mean, you know, there's just not much else to expect from like the physical demand's crazy, you know, and you know we should expect to definitely be sore and be hurting. We're definitely got to stretch a little bit, you know, get ourselves out there, you know. Don't
That's
pull
what
anything.
I'm thinking, like, will the alcohol help? Maybe, you know, maybe I should bring a flask.
That might be dope.
Yeah, you know,
that'd be dope. Yeah,
bring a flask or something. You know, bang, little. There's a reason they do that, right? There's a reason they do that, right? Ease the bones a little bit.
Get a little coke.
Ease that bone a little bit.
Like, bump on the tread.
Coca leaf. Okay, oh man, we definitely made a 40.
Yeah, just like
if we were doing Molly. You know what I mean? Molly the whole time. I feel like we'd be like, yeah. But I don't know. It's like
the day after would be so rough though.
You might just completely let go of your ego though, man. Yeah, I know. Yeah. But like, say you do some acid, you might just completely let go of your ego and just be like, fuck Harper's Ferry 40 miles. You know, like, bro, there's a river right there. Just go fucking build a raft.
Yeah, I'm trying to go do some shit.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So we get a fish, spear a fish. Because we don't got much daylight.
And that's the other thing I'm thinking. Like, it's like, let's say we get like, let's say we get to a certain distance in, like even if we get to like that first campsite, it's like, oh well, there's no scoop point. We can always get back, reverse way, go back to Penmar, and then go from there. I mean, like it'll be kind of like a feel as we go out there. We have a general plan going in.
Let's say it again. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Everything, the tent, we'll figure it out. Weight, we're figuring it out.
Yeah.
Water, we're figuring it out. Food, we're figuring it out. 40 miles, we're figuring it out. Get dropped off, we're figuring it out. Literally, all we know is what we got and where we're going.
Bro, I mean, like, it sucks. I mean, like, just talking, like, it's just, I'm confident we'll get it done.
I want to do it.
And exactly. We want to do it.
Have all your shit ready Thursday. You know what I mean? Thursday, have all your shit, all your clothes.
Yep.
Your fucking backpack packed. You know what I mean?
That's the thing I'm thinking about. I'm like, it's like, well, when you go out there, like, we have expectations, but we don't know what's really like out there. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day,
making 4 miles.
We're playing for something that we really don't know nothing about.
That's what's my ankle. So that's what's my ankle 2 miles in.
Yeah. Gotta carry him out.
Bro, I just want to stay here till Sunday.
Bro,
just stay here till Sunday and make it seem like we want
like you can't stand on it or something for some reason. I'm like, bro, I saw this video. It's like the Ranger roll where they pick you up. I'm like, bro, okay, look, I was trying to stay. I just put all my weight on your knees.
Fuck me all. Just all the air out of my body, bro. He looked pretty good when he did it. He did look pretty good, but he still was dropping his shoulder into their butt.
That one dude was just like,
the first guy didn't know.
Exactly.
After that, you're like, okay. But I guess that's the point of not knowing is that you don't tighten up.
Yeah, exactly.
Because if you're tight, I definitely can't do it.
Yeah, exactly.
You can't tell me you're about to Ranger roll me.
And even when
you can't tell you when you're gonna Ranger roll me.
Even when you got that one dude on his back, like he had trouble the first time doing it. Right?
Yeah, to like reset it, right?
Then he did it the right way the second time. And
not easy.
Just relax shit across your body.
And you're like, let's go, brother. We make it like 250 feet. You're saying, how's that ankle?
Yeah, you can hoof it, bro.
Dude, how about you hop and I'll hold your right side. Do I gotta carry you? I can if I got to.
I'll put your pack on the front of me.
What about if I drag you?
I'll put your pack on the front of me, Can we make a sled?
What about this movie sleds? And it's just like when we're snowboarding, where like people are coming by, like, you guys need help? We're like, no, just practicing. Hey, case.
Survival practice out here. What better way than to be out here in the wilderness?
Oh, let me show you guys how to. No, we want to learn this ourselves. The whole time, I'm agonizing pain, though. You know what I mean? It's like.
All right, bro. Well, listen, I have this huge log, okay?
Look away from the Rangers.
Straighten your knee out and put a split on it.
Dude, let me YouTube how to fix an ankle. Yeah, just looked up an ankle surgery, and I think I can tear a ligament.
I think if I skin the bark off a tree, I can use it as rope and make a makeshift a splint. You might be bleeding aside, bro.
Let me take all the rubber. Let me take the rubber out of your boots.
I'll put a tourniquet.
I gotta give your boot more room. Let me take all the padding out.
A tourniquet your leg.
Dragging a dead leg.
Tourniquet your leg, bro. It doesn't need to be for like 24 hours.
We still go for the 40.
Your leg is morbid. Like, why'd you tourniquet his leg?
You're actually making it where you cut off the circulation.
These aren't signs of blood infection.
No, it's just bruised, dude. It's just bruised. It's a bad call.
I thought that was blood filling up.
He might lose his leg.
That's blood filling up in his
from
leg.
Your tourniquet. From that big ass tourniquet you did on the thigh. Way too high. You're killing him, dude.
His leg's coming off.
He's losing his leg because of you.
He
was perfectly fine.
Look, the tourniquet execution is perfect, but that's also the part of the problem here. There's no blood flow. There's no blood flow through either end. Yes, infection can't come up here, but the infection's setting in because his flesh is dying.
Okay, so was the anal plug necessary? I stuck something in his ass because I didn't want to have to deal with shit on the way. He could not shit on the way. I didn't sleep. You know?
You're paralyzed for some reason. You can't feel any below the waist. You're like, you plugged me? You plugged me down?
What I said. Put acid on the acid tab when I did that bad boy.
Yeah.
Nah.
He boosted it.
I wonder if that really does get you high. Like does that you think? Well, I mean, it's proven that it does.
You
Does it get you
absorb some.
harder high or faster? It's just faster, right? Well,
I
what about if
think-
like a bitch just puts like a fucking 8-ball in her pussy and lets it fucking?
Well, we think about edibles, but they
disintegrate.
eat it. So, like, I mean, it's a little stronger because you eat it, you absorb it differently.
Is
So, I mean,
is
like,
that why?
you
Or is
know?
it because you're just taking in way more THC than you could possibly put in that blunt?
Also very true.
You
It's
know,
also
I could
very
make
true.
1,000. Them little Death Stars that Joey Diaz eats, those are
Yeah.
2,500 milligrams, bro. I could never. You know what I mean? Like, I put 3 grams in that thing. I'm not gonna get you 2,500
Yeah, it's pure
grams.
THC.
You ever see them
it's not
stories
weed,
about
it's
him
pure
on there?
THC.
He always gets people to
Hey,
eat
Diaz,
them.
no.
Yeah. Oh man.
He
You got
eat edibles on his podcast.
not on his podcast necessarily, but just anytime he's around people, he always gets them to eat, these things. At one point, he was eating 4 of these Death Stars a day, bro. Like on Joe Rogan podcast, he ate 2 back to back. Like it's like the highest edible you can get from like a California dispensary, pretty
He
much.
just be stoned, bro. all
Dude,
day.
just gone. And like people take those with him, and there's like all these stories on Joe Rogan of people telling Joe Rogan about it. And just like telling them how one of them or like half of them or a quarter of them just like had him outside shitting, in the woods or some shit, like just crazy shit. And like Joey just banging them back, bro, just high fucking tolerance.
Oh, so Joey Diaz.
Joey Diaz,
Okay,
yeah.
they talking about Nate Diaz. Like Nate Diaz be banging back.
I
I mean,
know.
like he's also a huge weed guy. So,
I'll tell you what,
know,
I get kind of tired
Yeah.
of Nate Diaz, man.
Joey Diaz is the one.
Nate,
But he's also a big guy.
I've always been a fan. He is,
Big
but
guy.
fucking 1,000 milligrams, bro, in like 30 minutes, like back to back to back. It's insane.
I mean, his joints might be hurting. Once his joints stop feeling shit, he's just like, oh, okay, maybe he'll focus more.
Well, let's get something clear. Nate Diaz. Nate comes out again today. And it's like all he does is these Twitter talks, bro.
Nate.
And it's crazy because that's kind of what made the Diaz brothers, Like he's a millionaire, not because of his fighting skill.
Yeah.
He's a great fighter. But he's not
marketable.
Top 10, bro. And he's just constantly on Twitter talking shit, man. Like he's on there like calling Dustin Poirier a bitch and saying he wants to run it back with Conor and shit. And I'm just like, dude, just fight someone if you're gonna fight. You know what I mean? Like Dustin Poirier's a bitch, bro. Like that's just when you cross the line to
It was
me.
a bag.
It's just I understand, but like he's always
Bag
gonna get a
fight.
bag. Like Nate's always gonna get a bag. Well, they were supposed to fight, and Dustin Poirier pulled out. I don't even know why. He said it was a lung injury. Who the fuck knows? But who cares, dude? Like either way, dude, Dustin's an awesome guy, bro. Like an actual good person, that's like on the best running of his career. Like to be on like you not even fighting, to be out there with 12 losses now on Twitter, like calling this dude a bitch who just like put $1 million into his charity foundation, knocked out Conor McGregor, just beat Dan Hooker's, done fought twice since the pandemic, fought Khabib, fought for a title, give him that, and it's like, you come on there and like, you want to talk shit and you think like that's the way to get the fight with like Dustin Poirier. I just don't think so, I think Dustin has a lot more options he could go to. Like, I think you should just be respectful, be competitive, and Dustin will give you a fight if you deserve it at any time. He knows that's a money fight. You don't got to tell him. He knows you're a Diaz brother, and he knows he'll whoop your ass. I'll bet everything on Dustin in that fight, bro. Way more than I ever bet on Conor versus Nate. And it's like, friend, that just be on there. I just don't like it. It's at some point, it's like, let's see some fights, dude. Last time I seen you, you were getting kicked in the face and your eyes was gouged open. And you're calling Dustin Poirier a bitch, bro. Like,
the other thing is that like before, when he was like earlier on in his prime, like it wasn't all done on Twitter. You get a camera person. I mean, he was also fighting more, but you had a more of an on-screen personality when it came to those types of things because that's all you were able to like. People weren't on Twitter going back and forth all day. You know what I'm saying? Like, nowadays,
like Ultimate Fighter. Yeah,
exactly. Like all of it was like kind of like on-screen TV, and like so like when you got your chance, you took your chance on TV. Become a character. Now you can kind of build that character following on your Twitter page, and just kind of tweet shit out, say absurd things. Conor would be on IG and be commenting all over the place. And I mean. That's how you do your thing nowadays. I'm saying when you go, especially when you're not being put on a screen.
Even like Peter Yan, right after the fight, goes on Sterling's picture, posts a clown picture, shit like comments a clown.
Yeah, exactly.
Meme on there.
Yeah, that's what everyone sees, and it's like,
and then they delete it.
And someone,
they know that a fan grabbed it.
Exactly. Someone's going to circulate it. You know what I'm saying? Someone's going to circulate it. It's going to be free marketing for you. You know what I'm saying? Pretty much free marketing because people will retweet it, people screen cap it,
Jack
all the
Dorsey selling his first tweet.
He sold it.
He's selling it.
That's
It's
odd.
for bid.
That's
It's up to like
odd.
2.5 mil.
That's really weird.
I know,
You
right?
know?
I hope it's for charity.
You would hope so. You know, but I mean, like, what, like, to even think that like your first tweet would have some type of value. You know, just like it's
Why
just
wouldn't
like
it? He's
I'm
the
just saying, it's like this.
owner.
I mean, like, obviously it does, but I mean, like, it just seems like I don't know. It just seems so stupid, bro. A digital tweet on like Twitter,
Dude,
bro. It just seems
It's
dumb.
the owner's first tweet,
I
though,
know.
bro.
I
So,
know.
like, if me and you started a company, what better advertisement? I'm like, dude, this is probably better than a fucking Super Bowl ad, Super Bowl commercial.
Like I said, I just hate that something like that carries so much value. You know, just like
Yeah, I hear you, but
know,
hopefully it's for
that's-
charity or something.
I
Like
hope
I'm
so
saying,
too,
you know,
but,
and
like, you
not
know-
like actual value.
And I
That would
mean, like,
suck.
if Jack Dort, like the way he talks, like it seems like something you would do for a charity. You know, like I'll shut the first tweet for a charitable cause type of deal.
That's so
Get some
much
hype around it. You know what I'm
stupid
saying?
money. Like,
That's what I'm saying. Well, hopefully you're not bagging 22.5 mil real quick.
so
You know what I'm
crazy, bro.
saying?
Just listen to like those business wars and just hearing about like the money thrown around. It's just so sick, bro. Like 25 mil is just like change to get things done in the business world, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And here we are, like 25 mil, you know? Reminds me of like the fucking Toy Story aliens that are in the, you know, in the claw machine, bro. And it's just
sickening,
like,
bro.
claw, you know? Like, wow, bro. And here they are just throwing it around. I've been flying through them business wars, dude. I got through Boeing and Airbus, and bro, I learned so much shit, bro. I have so much info to give you that it's like almost like you should just listen to it.
Oh yeah.
Instead of me recapping the whole thing. But like there's some major things that I did not know, bro. Like number one being, you know how when we go on like if you go on Robinhood and you look at like Airbus's employees, it's only like 40 or something like that. It's crazy to think about that. I never really thought about why, but then you get to the bottom of it and you start learning things. Bowen basically started shitting on things, right? Try to sum it up as quick as I can. Bowen started shitting on things.
All those American defense contracts.
Started getting like before that, before they were even doing the military.
Before that?
You know what I mean? This is when they were actually just doing planes. Like they were the first person to put a commercial plane, to sell a commercial plane to airliners is Bowen, you know? So they're dominating the market, like selling to everyone who needed a plane. And this is like when airports first start coming, you know? So they're like, okay, we're supplying planes for airports. Well, like Europe, they don't want to buy Boeing because it's an American company. So they're like, well, if they can do it, why can't we do it? So all of like pretty much the EU and shit like Britain, it's a long story. Some of them back out, some don't believe in it, but Britain, France, Germany, all of them all come together to basically fund together a fucking plane company, and that's Airbus. I never knew that off the jump. It was that's actually
I knew it was European, but no,
it's actually a government owned. It's actually government owned and government financed at the beginning, right?
Yeah.
So as it goes on, that's changed. Now that changed like 10 years ago.
Well,
they made it. They know these little things they can do, and they did like it's called like a SOC note, which transfers like a government over into like a private equity, which then relates to be able to be sold by a person that they choose to buy it. So they pretty much lined it up on who controls it and shit.
Yeah.
Here's what I didn't know, bro. Is like when you really start getting to the breakdown of what happened. First of all, Airbus, they're both smart. Don't get me wrong, bro. But like Airbus had a lot of things that they did correctly early on, right? Because they were so far behind. Their engineers were just amazing, dude. And they started thinking like, okay, well, what's things we can do so that we're not just starting from square one, that we could skip these motherfuckers a lot, you know?
Yeah.
So like one thing they integrated was like the first computer flying software. And it wasn't to like fly the plane itself. All it did was make it to where whatever plane they put that software in, no matter what the plane was different from that original Airbus they created, no matter what it was different, 3 engines instead of 2, 300 instead of 170, that algorithm and that calculation would calculate it as if they was handling the original Airbus that was created all the way back in the fucking 70s and 80s. Like, it's crazy. Like that's already that game. They got that in 1986, bro. Just think about that. Like that's crazy tech, dude.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? To be able to like understand how different this plane was, fucking 3,500 pounds more, with an extra 200 horsepower, and like it just to like incorporate all that. And like these pilots are basically saying like it feels no different. It's beautiful. Boeing never did that. So every time Boeing made a new plane, they had to go like these airports had to pay thousands of hours for pilot training to learn how to fly these planes. That's one thing Airbus didn't have to deal with.
And shit.
Right. So they keep going on and like There's so much I learned. Like Airbus created that Super Guppy. I'm sure you've seen it before. It's like
Yeah.
that real funny looking plane.
Yeah, real kind of
That
fat in
whole
the front.
thing, it's like it looks like a fish or dolphin
Yeah,
almost.
yeah.
That whole thing opens up in the front. And that was created for a singular reason, bro. Because Airbus, the way that it was created with all those countries, they all wanted to do separate things. They all wanted their piece of the pie, you know, from their own companies getting funded. Like I talked to you before, like how Rhode Island would want California, you know, you want to create your own company to do that. So like Britain was doing the wings, Germany's doing the engine, you know?
Yeah. To kind of solidify that
Exactly.
European.
But the problem is getting all this in one spot to create this fucking Airbus, bro. So they create that Super Guppy just to put these Airbus pieces in and be able to fly that to drop it off where they want to make like these new Airbuses, basically.
Yeah.
That Super Guppy still used to this day by NASA, bro. It's the only plane that can move those things that are as long as NASA and shit.
They design a lot of they use a lot of inspiration from like aquatic animals. Like, a lot of them are like, named after like, you know, like
That's cool.
Like I think there's like I think there's one like named after a dolphin.
Yeah.
You know, and then, I mean they all that's how their designs
it
are.
looks
kind
like
of, like,
shit
inspired.
because they didn't care about the design on it. It was literally meant as a cargo plane, basically for them, you know.
Yeah.
And like I said, NASA's still using it to this day. So once they start figuring out, like, okay, we're putting the planes together, they're so far behind Boeing at this point. Like Boeing been operating for like fucking 10 years, you know. Like they've got
figure some shit out.
They've got hundreds, bro.
Get some money.
So it gets to the point where, like, you know, there's like a recession that hit in the late 80s I didn't know about, where like people weren't
in America,
using the airport in America.
Yeah.
And people weren't even like taking flights and shit. So that caused like delays. Both of them were constantly just on the brink of bankruptcy throughout the entire process.
Which seems crazy.
Boeing bounced back so many times. Airbus would have been bankrupt, but since it was ran by the government, they would always just convince everybody else to pool $200 million apiece. It was easy, you know. With Boeing, it was like they had to do finesse, steal this deal, you know, do this to make it work. Start getting into military contracts, shit like that, to make these, you know, deficits.
Yeah.
Well, and that 737 they created, 737 Max they created, they were 5 years behind, bro, and they're $10 billion in the budget. So before all these issues even happened with Boeing and those crashes, they already had to produce that plane for another 7 years to see even. You get what I'm saying? They had to sell that plane for another 7 years just to make their money back on creating that plane because they went over so far. They did all this shit like Airbus didn't do. So like they tried to use the same blueprints. They thought if they used the same body that it meant the same blueprints. But it didn't because the wiring had to go through different ways. So like they kept ending up with like short wires and shit like that. Dumb shit, you know? So like after that, like people want, you know, at first they're like, we want big planes that can carry, you know, a lot of fucking people. So they're building these big ass planes. And then that recession type thing hit. It wasn't the Great Recession, you know, but it was a recession. And nobody stopped flying. So they're all like, we want planes that, you know, hold minimum people, you know, medium people basically, and are fuel efficient. So they start creating that plane. And then things open back up. They're like, we need bigger planes. You know, both companies, the airports are telling them, demanding these things. And
exactly,
they're like, it doesn't work like that, you know? Airbus is always building something that's unique, though, as far as their plane go, which is a whole different story on how you get that approved. That's a long story. That's why they never want to switch the frame, because that's super hard to get that approved. But you can approve a new plane, the same frame with new shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So Airbus, they're always moving on, like creating new shit because they have so many things that lock them on. Like they don't use the same frame every single time. You know what I mean? Like even on that Super Guppy, that's used by Boeing 737 metal, recycled, extra. Like they're used whatever they need to use to make that plane, but then they make it comfortable to where it felt like the older planes, you know?
Yeah.
So like they don't have these issues that like Boeing's trying to do by using that same frame. And that's actually what ended up being their downfall, bro. So
one of many.
No, like that's the major downfall. Like it wasn't bad until that first plane crashed. And even I don't know if there's more shit you learned, but after that first plane crash by Boeing, I don't know if you remember, but they didn't get halted. They didn't get grounded.
Yeah,
they were still flying. Yeah, and they did updates.
A couple
right. Well,
crashes.
what happened? Right. What happened with that was, like I said, they kept doing these switches, right? So eventually, like all of that comes out, and they need this plane to compete with this A370 that the Airbus came out, which had like 300 orders, 7 years backlogged, some shit like that. So they're trying to think about like how to make this plane fit more, but use that same fucking frame, bro. So they move those engines that used to be behind the wings on the 737 to in front of the wings on the new one that had the problems.
Right.
Because of that, that plane no longer reacted the same to any pilot. So like it was going to take more hours of programmer time than ever before. Like thousands of hours for people to get used to that plane because of the way that it was adjusted.
Yeah.
So they try to do what Airbus did in 86, and it's create a software to act like how the old one worked.
Yeah.
But they're rushing it because they're trying to get it out as quick as they can, bro. So they put this software in there, and the way that we looked at it, and with American laws, they looked at it as that software isn't operable to the pilot. The pilot does not control that software. It's in literally the in the
program to do that.
To just you treat it just like a new plane, and then it does all that. So to them, they never even put it in a new manual. It wasn't another training. It was just simply meant to squeeze those thousands of hours into minimum amount of time.
Exactly.
Could, bro.
Then you hop in, you can fly it, you're good to go.
Yeah, and the problem is, so to get to it, when they got up in that plane, that thing started nosing down because it's meant to counteract how the older planes did.
Yep.
The problem is they didn't know it was in there, and this is where it would have been to the advantage, and this is where Boeing fucked up because their argument was we didn't have to tell the pilot because they don't control it. If the pilot had known not to pull up hard, basically, not saying it would have worked, but they were saying that was an option. The problem is it noses straight down. So instincts of a human pilot, pull that thing straight up as hard as you can. It then reads that it's going up again. The two sensors that are on the front were reading
after
wrong.
Already believing that it was going up anyway.
Exactly. So now it's just nosing down. So if he would have like lightly pulled it, there's a chance that it wouldn't have kept counteracting so hard on him.
But based off prior training, you're just like...
He doesn't even know that that's in there.
Yeah.
And
based off, like I said, we trained before on that because that's a glitch into what the computer's doing. You know what I'm saying? So what he's doing is he's going over his normal training where it's like, okay, nosedive, pull it up, And the next thing you know, sensor reads them on and boom, go straight
pulls
down.
That harder on him.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Computer probably felt like a fucking devil, bro, just controlling that plane.
And that's what I'm saying. That's where I would be like as a pilot. If I was a pilot, I'd be sitting there, I'd just be like, man, like, how do you because those guys probably die thinking they did something to send this plane to the fucking ground. You know what I'm saying? Whereas, it's like I'm sitting here, I'm dying because there's a glitch in y'all fucking system. Like, I'm a good fucking pilot. You know what I'm saying?
I would hope they know.
I got thousands of fucking hours. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Next thing you know, I mean, like when you're showing me the black box shit where they're talking and it's like, yeah, we're going down, I think we're good. No, we're not. It's like,
in the one black box into where the guy's just like, somebody screwed us. They screwed us. Like he knew there was an error on the plane somewhere, and he was saying that through it. It's a sad moment. So after that, they all get, the information comes out, but they don't get grounded. So before Boeing even gets up, I just thought this was kind of cheesy. Like before they even got approved by whatever it was, the
FAA.
Before they even got approved to go fix those things, they already were flying engineers all over the world, mechanics and engineers all over the world. So when it did get approved, like they were ready to do it. It's not against the law, but I just thought it was like, bitch, how'd you know? What if it didn't get approved? You're going to fly them all home? No, you knew. You knew that was going to get approved, And the funny thing is, that's actually the second problem that plane had. Originally, when it was created, it had a battery problem, bro, where the battery kept catching fire. So they had to fix that. So like that plane had got pushed back.
At this point,
and look how much they're struggling to still like they need that plane up.
I was saying at this point in the aviation world, it's like what your original plan was. You have that on sale for the past 20 years already. Okay, then you did produce those planes, but you're still behind on orders.
Yeah.
And at this point, you'd probably be putting resources into developing a new plane, the next one.
Yeah.
The next
Airbus
big plane.
is already doing that. They're already on, so they're their own company now, man. They're innovating for themselves,
and that's the other thing. Like it's like when it became early on, especially with like the American dominance of like some of the some of these companies in America, like Boeing. Boeing could have been like a world dominator, and set in their pockets, and then even some airliners preferred to buy Boeing products over Airbus, even in Europe, even in China. Whereas like you see countries where like China, they just recently canceled like all their orders for any Boeing aircraft, anything American made, and they're going all Airbus. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
they're going all Airbus because for one, like you think about it, especially something like your planes, you don't want a foreign entity, even though it sucks that you're going with like someone like Europe. But I think in the grand scheme of things, what China's thing is like, okay, well, we can
not America.
We can deal with exactly. We can deal with
shit.
Europe. You know what I'm saying? We could be all right with Europe, even though America has like a little thing going on with Europe, like we
Yeah.
can deal with Europe.
So they're
rather than
definitely
coming to
hurting
America.
bad right now. But even like Airbus execs, they've been on that brink so many times, they probably will bounce back.
Oh yeah, yeah.
$18 billion a year in government subsidies. Get that on the side note right there.
That's so much money, bro.
crazy, ain't
That's
it?
circulating.
Crazy, bro. Whatever.
And I mean, that's only one of them.
It's crazy.
That's only one company, bro.
It's only the money you know about too. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like who
that's
even
what
knows
I'm
the
saying.
backdoor shit? But they believe they're gonna come back. Side note: did you think about Did you see those reports today come out on the Uyghurs up in China?
No, something came out today.
You didn't
No, I
see
didn't
that,
it.
bro?
No,
I
I
wish
see
I
it
had the
today.
fucking thing down
Did they
here,
fucking
dude. Full
Oh, you
report.
don't have the thing? I can pull it over here real quick.
I was using on the quiz thing.
Yeah.
Full report came out today, bro. Multiple countries. Full report came out though, where like they clearly established that Beijing is doing genocide on these Muslim people, and
time.
now like boycott Beijing 2022 or 2024.
Yeah.
That's a big thing now. They're thinking about not even going. A lot of people are thinking about boycotting it now because this came out.
What was it? The Olympics?
2024 Olympics are in Beijing.
Oh, early this year?
Yeah.
Oh, next
2024, yeah.
Well, there's been evidence of this going forward. I mean, I guess you gotta be sure.
There wasn't really
sure,
evidence, bro. This is like the first time where like it's basically a conclusive report that took a long time.
And that's the thing, you know what I'm saying?
Because I didn't know that they admitted to it. They didn't admit to the genocide, but they admitted to keeping them people held, and they said it was
re-education.
No, they're like, I don't know, maybe you read that before, but like on the one they released now, they said that it was because they have to do that in fear of religious terrorist attacks. That's literally what they said, bro. Why don't you just tell them to get out of your country?
Well, they said
if that's what it is.
Well, so the problem with China is, there's still a lot of, provinces. China's huge and extremely rural and mountainous, and the part, of that particular section of that northwestern territory, it also borders a lot. I believe it's like Uzbekistan or one of those.
They come up there.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like the thing is, like the region of that people has always been there, and then the ever-changing borders of China with the modern day times, these people got pretty much their border split in half from their original religious types of religious group, and then now they're living in China, so they're in Chinese territory. They've always been there pretty much, and pretty much this is where they've always lived. So then once you get someone like China, they're trying to build up cities and build out throughout the whole country. They're trying to build through everything. They get to this one portion where it's like, okay, you don't even have, China's, I think 98% Han Chinese. So it's a particular type of Chinese. And like the other 2% is like, blah, blah, blah. And then you have the Uyghurs right there. It's such a minority population, and they're trying to expand out into that territory and build up there what they believe is Chinese
so
land.
Instead of just saying,
and then boom,
China killed 5 million Muslims today, they just might be guarding and slowly knocking them out.
No one. I mean,
is that a country up there?
Most people
they got no military. What's up?
No, they're like a village.
A village?
Yeah.
That's millions of people in a village.
Yeah, it's like a old type of. It's not like a modern civilization type of deal. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and they're Muslim.
Yeah, I mean, like they live in like concrete housing and shit, but like there's no like organized government backing. Because I mean, up until recently, it hasn't been a problem up until like recently, where they've been like over the past couple of years.
Yeah, we know of.
Like I said, they
could have been doing it for 10 years.
They suspected this for like a long time, and we've seen lots of reports and a lot of people talk about it. But I mean, like I guess you definitely need on something like this, you need a 100% confirmation.
How do you say the people?
Uyghur.
So how come the Uyghurs haven't, like, there's not like a spokesperson that's came forward, from that country? They haven't wiped that country out or that little village out. So I mean,
well, I think
what's up, man? Make a UN call or something.
I think a lot of that is one, they don't have any type of like UN representative. And I mean, all the infrastructure. I mean, a lot of these Uzbekistan, whatnot, like
Facebook,
all of them, like it's a very remote area. Like I believe the only type of communication areas out there, or like infrastructure, are all built by Chinese. Which we all know that's like heavily heavily controlled. Like as far as internet goes, that's all heavily monitored by the government. So if let's say you do ping a Chinese tower, I mean, I'm sure it'd be easy enough for them to just not let that go through. You know what I'm saying? Or just completely like not even, or you don't even build that type of infrastructure out there. You know what I'm saying?
It's up to China what they want to allow.
It's a very
when you have that many numbers.
Its northern border is Mongolia, which is another country that isn't highly developed. And then
we're going to Afghanistan though.
You have like
we won't go help them people.
Kazakhstan, and then we have Uzbekistan and whatnot. It's because it's China, man. It's a whole other thing. But I think what the biggest thing that America will do with this type of thing, there won't be any type of like boots on the ground or anything crazy like
Yeah,
that.
be more sanctioned.
Sort of just sanctions, bro. You know,
Yeah.
it's
They're
gonna,
already
you know,
sanctioning them.
yeah, and, you know, and China always finds a way to make its money, you know, and they continue. You know, I don't think you're gonna hamper its GDP. You know, I mean, like, you know, a lot of American companies do business over there. A lot of European companies do business over there. You know, it's
I'll
just
tell you who was up in there wrecking shit that I didn't know about, bro. So after listening to that Alexander the Great speech, bro, I just have dove into the man's life, dude. And I wish I would have found this dude earlier, bro. At this point, like, I just want to see, like, does he have literature or what? Because I'm just like
oh yeah,
amazed by
yeah.
this dude, man. Like, really learning about like not only his leadership, but the leadership style, bro. That's why I sent that speech I sent to you guys, bro. I play that speech every day, dude. Like, there's something about that speech to me that just was like next level, man. Like, it's the fact of like, he's like, look, I've always been the first one. And I've always been the first one in the front of the line. I
Right.
never asked you to do anything that I didn't do. Like, that speech has so much power in it, bro. He's like, all of this, what do I have? What do I have that you don't have besides this purple rope? It's like he kept no worldly possessions for himself. There's like crazy stories about the man, bro. I mean, they couldn't even call him crazy, but like, when they were on that, that trick, that was a 10-year conquest, bro. 9 years, 10 to get totally back. 9-year conquest, and he didn't want to stop. They did, bro. The troops, bro. That's where that speech comes from. He was on a conquest, bro. He took everything, Steve, dude. And you know what else I liked? I learned? I meant to say learn.
Yeah.
He liked the right wing. He liked to attack from the right wing. And he never lost a battle from the right wing. Whenever he was injured, it was always from a different kind of attack. Whenever they lined up in he liked like this 3 formation, 1, 2, 3, and then one on each side, and he would be right there on that right wing. Every time they did that, bro, they won. Every time. Verse 10 to 1 versus the Persians, bro.
And
crazy, dude.
That's the thing. You know, I mean, like when you win a battle by doing that, the word doesn't get back to the people that how they lose. You know what I'm saying? Just like,
yeah.
Next thing you know, just like, oh, they were everywhere. They surrounded us.
I looked at it like, yeah, I was looking at it like for him, I'm like, he found his class. He likes the M4 with the ACOG, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Like, he found his spot and he established that. But besides that, bro, just like so many heroic things. So he's on that conquest. His father had done so much for them already. And then his father was killed. And he was given, the reins, and he went out on conquest immediately, dude. 20 years old, bro, winning wars versus winning countries and shit, bro. Dude, yeah,
bro.
Dude, like, it all started apparently when he was 12 years old, bro. There was like this Mustang in the village that like no man dare touch, as they would say. At 12 years old, he broke this horse. That's the horse he rode into those right-wing battles to win, dude. When he was 12, bro. It's crazy, bro. And 20 years old, he's out there leading. So he goes on a conquest, dude. And it's just like he's winning. He's winning. So he just keeps going. And he also is like in the search of glory. He had like this egotistical part of him where like he wanted that glory, but it also made him a soldier as much as a king,
Yeah.
So like when that battle of Persians going on, bro, like there's a story. All these stories are like people that tell that tale, of seeing that in battle. That's the crazy part. There's no lying, just like when someone gets a Medal of Honor and like you see 6 people come forward, like, bro, we seen them go up them steps, like it's weird when it's one thing when you say you did something. It's another thing when, your platoon sees their leader doing it. So like when they fought Persia that first time, it's true that like that Darius, the Persian king, he did used to show up in like that big seat that you see in 300. He did really used to show up in that and like stay back and watch his wars fought. Once Alexander seen that, bro, and they took that right wing and punched in, he went solo dolo, bro, towards Darius by himself for the kill, just in the search of glory, bro. They, according to his men, murked everything in sight, bro. 8 arrows straight to the chest, bro. Kept going to the point that he slaughtered so many men that Darius fled. The Persian army turned around. They stopped him from, coming in. They brought everyone to there, and he fled the scene. Another war he won. He just kept pushing people back, and he kept winning. So he's joining up with other people. You know what I mean? He's joining up with Chinese and shit. He's all the way up in India, bro. He took India.
Yeah.
Like, it's such a conquest already, bro.
He's a great
and he was getting ready to go farther, bro. And you know what happened? Like, well, I had to go break down like what that speech really was, you know? He had gone so far. Obviously, at that point, like, people wanted to go back, but the soldiers knew they were winning too, right? So what happened was he fucked up, bro. They cut through this certain way to get back. And well, he didn't fuck up, right? They cut through this certain way, and they're trying to push through, basically. They don't lose a war, they don't win a war, but they get held up by like this guy. It's actually in Civ, Gaza or whatever it's called. City state.
Trying to think.
It's like Gaza or something like that, but he gets held back by like this capital, basically. So they're paused, and like at this point, he's like, okay, before we go farther with our conquest, we've been out here for so long, I'm going to send certain people back, basically, like the old people. At this point, you've been out there for a decade, dude.
Yeah,
He's
exactly.
30.
Yeah.
He went out when he was 20. You know, it's insane to me. You talk about a 2-year tour, bro, a 10-year tour at the front.
You're walking this bitch.
No Navy, Army, Air Force, everything. Front. Every time.
You're just walking this bitch, bro.
Every day, bro. Well, they would make them do crazy shit when they were kids, you know, like walk miles to build them calyxes and shit. So they could do that. That's what his father instilled all of that, because he knew he went to conquest. And so they're pushing, bro. They get pushed back right there. And he's like, okay, I'm going to send some people back, and I'm going to send the injured, like whoever severely injured back. And those warriors, bro, find it offensive. They're like, no, why would you send anyone back? Like, the people that got chosen looked at like their king was frowning upon them, you know?
Yeah.
So they start going around, bro. They start going around and start getting people together to kill him, straight up to like overthrow him in the middle of the night. He's got this right-hand scout that goes and tells his right-hand man, bro, the exact people that are doing it, and his right-hand man never tells them, bro. Days go by, and it's literally about to come up when they're going to rise up in the middle of the night and kill him and take over and head back. The scout comes right to him this time. And he's like, I don't know why you haven't done anything, you know, but whatever it is, Macedonian, that guy are out there, and they're going to come here in the middle of the night. He goes and kills his right-hand man and these 12 other people that were all attached to this leader of this conspiracy. He kills them all. And that's when he delivers that speech. And it's like, bro, when you know all of that and you really listen to that speech, bro, he's like telling you, he's like, first he starts out with all the things his father did. You know, he's like, I turned you from peasants. You couldn't even defend yourself against the very barbarians that were your neighbors. We turned them to your servants. That's just, you know, he goes through all that. He's like, that's just what my father did for you. Then I led you through the Macedonians. He goes through all these things, you know, the first one to cross the Indian Sea, the first one to go through the Sahara Desert or whatever. It's all different names. I don't know. That's what I do know.
They call them at that time.
You know what I mean? Yeah. The first one to trek through here, the defeaters of the Macedonians, the Ionians, the Gonzans.
Conqueror of the Caucasus.
It goes through all of that. And as he's going through it, he's like, it's like these little powerful things, bro, where like you know, I've talked to you many times. Like, I really believe the leader is the one that's beside you, you know, like that's what he's saying. He's like, show me a man. He's like, any man amongst you, come forward and step right now and show me more scars on your body than I have mine.
Yeah.
I've always been right there. I've never asked you to do anything. And all he's saying this in like those ancient terms. I don't know if you listen to the whole speech, bro, but you should, because it's powerful, bro. Like different level powerful, man. And he's like, you know, I led you through this. And that's what I was telling you. He's like, what more have I given myself? You know, other than the conquest, all I have is this robe. He lets them pillage the towns, bro. That's what he tells them too. He's like, you're paid. We let you pillage every town, even though you're paid more than handsomely well. Your family's paid no. It's like everyone that died was given a proper burial, and your family pays no taxes for the rest of their lifetime. You know, he's going through he's like, all these things that he's done, you know, and he's like, what have I taken? Nothing. No one bears more than me, you know. It's like I felt that, because it's like, man, like that's how I picture myself leading, you know, like there's so many times when you hear his story, he should have died, dude. He had a punctured lung. He had malaria. Like there was days.
That's killer back then.
Dude, there was days he didn't wake up. He went 5 days without waking up. They thought he was dead. He woke up, came in riding on that same horse he mounted when he was 12. Like, dude, like ultimate legend, dude. And
Yeah.
like,
I mean, why do you think his name's been carried out throughout time?
bro, I
You know what
never
I'm saying?
knew
Stuck
it was
around.
like that though. He died when he was 32, bro. Most people believe poison, mysterious circus, and that's so. I'm getting to what happened though, right? I'm wrapping up for you. So that's when he delivers that speech, and it's just so powerful, bro. Please listen to it, man. So after that, he's like, and I would have took Gaza if it wasn't for you cowards, turning back. Not you cowards, but he says it like for you fleeing in cowardness, or however he says it in a better way than calling them cowards, because they've won plenty of wars, obviously.
Yeah, exactly.
So he's like, if this is what you want, we will turn back. They've got a bunch of enemies, obviously, on all the way they just took back. They're so far behind. They go through this other way, bro, and they cut through this desert. And for months, dude, they find no water, bro. He loses half of his army, bro.
Yeah,
he was
out
losing
there.
up to 800 people a day
Yeah.
from fucking, fatigue,
Yeah.
dehydration. My favorite story of him, bro. In the middle of that, they said Alexander hadn't had a drink for 4 days. No one had, though, They find this fucking 3x3 little oasis with enough water in it for the top of a helmet, and they give it to Alexander the king, and he looks at them all and he pours it on the ground. And he says, if you die here of thirst, I will too. And they keep trekking.
Yeah.
That motherfucker made the trek. You know what I mean? Like, it's that mindset.
Yeah.
I was thinking back on that. I'm like, maybe you give it to the old person or something, but you don't give it to no one. It does make that point of like, it's like it's mental thing.
Exactly,
you know what I mean?
yeah,
Now they're fired up. Like
exactly.
It's that thing right there.
Well, the sinner is like, I'll die for him.
Why were they so willing to die for him though? It's the fact that he was right there with them, bro.
Yeah,
I'm going first in, and like, man, like he storms a castle by himself, bro, because his people won't. He wants to take over this fortress, and he's like, look, if we attack right now, they will succumb to us. A lot of people did succumb to him without even war. It got to that point, where they're like, oh shit, like, we're not going to die. He's like, they will succumb. No one would come, bro. He charges with like 3 other dudes, bro, and they arrow him down twice. They're all cheering. This whole town goes crazy, bro. And they start celebrating. They throw a party that night. They come out there the next day and the body ain't there, bro. He walked himself back to camp, bro, with 2 arrows in the shoulders, dude. Was out for like another 3 days, bro. It's like so many stories of him just like out for 3,
so this is the thing. So like, so I do think, there's a reason his name is known to this very day. You know what I'm saying? But I think a lot of these stories you might want to take them with a grain of salt. You know what I'm saying? There's some of the, what I'm saying? It's like, I don't think all of them are true. I think the dude was obviously fucking awesome. I obviously did some crazy shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Listen, to me, I take it exactly how I take the Bible. Right?
Right.
Where it's not that they found an oasis in the middle of the thing and there was enough fucking water for that.
Yeah.
Right? It was the point of it.
Yeah.
The fact that Alexander was not the king type to go, find me water.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
It was the fact that it might not be exactly what happened, but someone had shared that tale of him. That's how that tale perceived itself. Was that
and it's gone
when we were out
time.
there and everyone was dying, Alexander didn't even take the drink. Might have been no helmet. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But the story is created to create the scenery for you. It's the point of it. Is the point true? He proved that time and time again. There's no like with him. That's what I love about it, bro. I get what you're saying with the grain of salt there. I think you do have a lot of people with him. I feel like that's why he's so legendary, bro, because the grain of salt is not there. The man literally multiple times charged, led the front of his troops many times to every war. Bro, first, you don't know a king that does that. You can't name another king ever, right? Meanwhile, this guy Darius is sitting up on top of a pedestal watching his people fight, right? You can't name another king that led in front of that unless you go back to like what, Rome or something like that. Even like the Greek king and shit, the Greece, they didn't fucking lead the front of their armies. They were with their armies, but they weren't in the front, And that man leading, he's also the strategics. That's the ones that come with the plan. He's the morale guy, and he doesn't eat more than you. He don't drink more than you. He doesn't, take the woman or pillage the town and not let you have it. He treats you better than he treats himself, and he's first on the front lines every time. A man like that, only fictional tales can spread from there. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
He's mystical. You know what I mean? Once you reach that, you are as high as a mystical man as I've ever seen. I'll make up these tales because of just the way that people talk about you, right? Like I come back and I tell this man was nothing like I had never seen, right? I tell his tale. Some little 7-year-olds heard me in the back corner. When they tell that tale, there was a helmet involved filled with just enough water. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Then it
exactly.
spread.
Over time.
But it's
Yeah,
the
over
point
time.
of that man that came forward, that's seen his actions, bro. Not the top soldier, the king. The king fighting front fucking line. That's how it's supposed to be, man. You know, like that is how it's supposed to fucking be. And his daddy did the same thing, you know? It's just in him, bro. And there is this ego to him where it's like he wants to be great. Like that's why he charged Darius,
Exactly.
right? It's because he wants to be
that
the
legacy.
one
Yeah.
that pushed back. So when you know, like that Darius, it's funny because Darius flees and tries to go back to Persia, and that's where he ends up dying with the 300. You know, he flees back into there. That's how that all ends up coming. Obviously, he probably could have went a different way, but probably didn't know that things would unfold like that. But I'm just like fascinated by his style of leadership, bro. I don't know if I've ever seen a better one in my life. Like as far as how I imagine you should lead someone, how I think I should lead people, like that's how it should be, man. It's that if I'm not going to tell you to do something that I won't do, and I'm not going to be one person behind. I'm going to be right in the front. This is what I'm telling my people to do. I'll be the first to take that hit. You know, I'll be the first to take whatever it is, man.
Yeah.
This is my decision, and I'll deal with the consequences or the glory, right? Like that's what it is. And look, do you think Alexander regrets his life, bro? The way that he's told about fucking 3,000 years later, man, or whatever it is. You know, like 10 years, dude. 10 years. So that's his conquest.
I mean, especially when you're, you know, especially at this time period, you know, you're talking about people who like, you know, I mean, there's like, you know, they know once they're gone that there's, you know, people will forget them. So what drives people, I think, you know, is if not the curiosity, but the chase for the glory and the legacy of like your family name, bringing honor to like what your father did before you,
right?
And then he'd probably cry hearing us say his name, even his name nowadays. You know what I'm saying?
And saying like what he does and how we look up to him.
He's just like, man, like 1,000 years later, they still talk about the great Alexander.
And think about, it makes me to go play him in Civ. And think about like, there's kings, bro, that ruled a country for 40 years and accomplished a lot. You don't even know their name. Yeah. But you know that motherfucker who fought amongst his people, bro.
And I don't know about you, but like, you know, I've, you know, and throughout in any history class I've taken, I've never been taught anything about Alexander the Great. But I know his name.
Well, because he's looked at as Attila the Hun, basically. You know, it's the same type of thing where it's like they were rampage people. That's how they look at
history. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, you go to any ancient civilization, and you know, there's always rampaging.
I'll tell you what. I watched. I never seen the full Alexander the Great movie with Colin Farrell, but I watched the speech that's supposed to be that speech I sent you. And he just butchered it, dude. I don't know if like that's what they told him to say, bro, but like that random ass YouTube narrator did way better job than Colin Farrell did, bro. Like I just didn't even feel. Maybe I gotta watch.
You gotta bring that speech to life. Maybe I gotta watch something like that.
Maybe I gotta watch bring that to life. You know, I mean, like I'm put myself in the.
I'm not an actor, but I mean, like I feel like you would just like give so much in that speech because you gotta personally feel it. You know, what I'm saying?
And like it's just the way he says it, where he's like, you know, he just misses a lot of the key details that make that speech what it is to me.
Yeah, I would love to read it and try and take a shot at like reading it. You know what I'm saying? Just being like,
just listen to that full speech first, bro, because it's just. I wish there was a way, you know, it's too long for me to play on here, but it's just so damn good. Yeah. Man.
I mean, and you know, like I love thinking about like ancient warfare because, like, you know, like you ever see them
Alexander the Great historical war speech? Anyone know?
You ever see like how like you know they go over some like the old formations that people used to do, and like they would have like you know that one battalion. It's like, oh, there's 100 soldiers here in a line, 100 soldiers here, 100 soldiers here. Then there's another line of you know those 3 battalions. You know, and then like you know we'll assault here, we'll look big here. But I'll pull 2 of those battalions off the back line. We come around the side. Like, it's so like.
Well, that was so great about him with Persia, bro. He had like this perfect technique with that right wing attack. That was like perfect versus the way that Persians marched. They marched in a big rectangle box with like these 4 like units on the side, basically 4 like squads like that. And then 1 large because the army was so large.
Yeah.
And the way that he could attack was like he would chunk that shit. Like I can't probably explain it, and obviously I'm trying to explain it how they explain it. It's even harder, right? But they would just basically be able to chunk those lines and not kill the Persians, but they would just take numbers out, you know, and be able to stay on their horses, keep moving.
I mean, I'm trying to think like you're thinking about like communication, like there is none. You know what I'm saying? Like in the midst of war, it's just like you know you got to hope that like you were put in a position of you know by your generals, you know,
I
to
feel
be
like
in a
it's a
strong
field
position.
thing,
you know what I'm saying?
like you said, you got to take everything with a grain of salt. But like, there's a story about him of like after he had slayed like this mass leader, I think it was like the Indian leader or some shit. Right away, like there was an Indian assassin that was getting ready to tag him in his back, and like his right hand man had like struck the man's arm down, and like ended up killing him, piercing him through the chest, but like had stopped basically Alexander. So like sometimes I feel like it's like a feel thing back then, right? Like me and you were best friends, and it's like you got your blade. We're not talking. But like we got camaraderie as they like that's important among an army.
Exactly.
Right?
It's
like we're fighting. And this is a lot different than like you're right there and I'm in a sniper tower 600 yards away and we're talking. Like we're right here, bro.
Exactly.
And there's our king right there with us. You got this kind of passion. You got this camaraderie, where it's like, stop him. Then you stab this guy. Like, I think it is kind of like how you see in the movies. Well, not with everyone, like not with the back row guys or something, but like with the top commanders that have
you're also
multiple times together.
We're also talking about a time where it was proud to be a warrior. You know what I'm saying? Like
right.
it was like a prideful thing to be a combatant. And when your father is a soldier, well, your first son is also a soldier. You know what I'm saying? Like you're gearing him up for war.
It was honorable.
Yeah, you're gearing him up for war. As soon as
like boy. Intricate things like if you're my best friend and we're in there fighting in that war, it's like okay, well we fought so many wars together and we're so close outside of the battlefield that I know. Once Steve gets a front line to the left, a front, opening to the left side, he's going to maneuver over there. So as soon as I see you wipe your guy, I kill this guy. I start pushing up on the left right here so you can clear. Like be these steps like, oh, I know Alexander's going to try to attack for the king right away. I'm going to take this left side. Steve's got that right side. We're going to put, you got this camaraderie and like this familiarity, bro, where like you said, you got this pride. You're not a mercenary, dude.
Yeah.
You're not some random guy who signed up for the Camaro and free insurance.
Yeah.
You're actually here in this conquest for the great of your country.
You were raised a warrior.
Yeah,
it's like
bro.
If I die,
and you're fighting with and for your king and your people.
And like if you die, it's like you're not a good warrior. It's like you had passion for being a warrior.
And if you do die, it's like a glorified death.
You died in battle. You died in battle, exactly.
Right.
You were promised, Valhalla. You go up there, and you'd be at an Eternal Feast festival. You know what I'm saying? You just be chilling. But you're out there, and you took pride in your combative skills. By how many men's blood has touched your blade. It's like you.
Yeah, like when they didn't used to try.
It's all for legacy. It's like they'll be fighting like. Mike, they'll tell stories about me back in town,
I'll tell your legend, brother.
If I die on this battlefield,
so be it.
Speak not that the
long live John James.
Speak not that the drunken nights we had on the campfire, but speak of me on the battlefield
and the blood I shed for my brothers. There's just something to that, man. There's something to that war, man. That's like the same reason I like fighting is the same reason I like war, because like you just can't get that passion out of people. You can't get it in everyday life unless you put them in like these super predicaments where you're like, how far are you willing to go? Like man.
Like you were saying the other day, like that's why sports are so enjoyable.
Yeah,
you see that passion pour out.
Right, but then there's like levels to it to me. Exactly, but that's why I like fighting the most, because I'm like, you want to talk about really when you see someone's passion, bro? I tore my ACL. I got a broken orbital, and I'm still throwing haymakers.
I'm out here fighting.
In football, you see what happens when an injury happens, bro.
Yeah,
you get a free timeout.
Yeah.
You get to sit on and get the doctors to look at you and decide if you can keep going.
And the next thing you're thinking about is like, damn, I guaranteed.
You can sit out for one play and come back. You get a break, And fighting, it's like, look with Sterling. It's like, bro, hey, we're in the fourth round of your first UFC championship. You just took a knee to the head. And it's like, we got to know if you can go. It's like, what the fuck, bro? It's just crazy, man. And you see this ultimate passion. That's where like I'll never be a Sterling fan. To me, I hate to say it. I'm not trying to tell anybody how to live or what to do. You've already succeeded me 10 times in life. But like for me, you earn way more respect getting up and getting knocked out than winning that belt like that. Like, I'm sorry, dude. I'm not saying it was wrong or not. I'm not saying it was fake. I'm not saying none of that. I'm just saying as a fan, if you would have got up, Anthony Smith had the same thing with John Jones. I don't know if anybody knows that. John Jones kneed Anthony Smith in the head illegally one time when he was on his knees. Anthony Smith sat there for 2 minutes, grabbed his head. It's about 205 mentor, This is a 135 pound man that did Sterling. John Jones did Anthony Smith.
Yeah.
Anthony Smith, I'll always be a fan. He's not a good fighter at all. That's just the truth. Obviously, I'm saying that as for UFC standard, but I'm saying he can't kick my ass.
Yeah,
I always got that disclaimer, right?
Exactly. Yeah,
he took that knee. You know what he did? He got back up and he finished that fight that he was getting his ass kicked in. He didn't win 1 round, 1 minute of that fucking fight, but he got back up and he went and got it. And meanwhile, Sterling's sitting there, and it's like for me, like all of this shit. Like, I don't like to see that shit. Warriors, bro, you try to show you're not hurt. That's that shit right there, bro. And I'm not saying that, yeah, you made a business decision, brother, and you're the champ. You got your win bonus, whatever it is. You did right by your family. As a fan of that passion, I want to see you get up and go out on that shield.
Yeah,
like that's what I like, bro.
Come back and fight.
That's what I've seen, guys. Like, there's guys like Clay Guida, Darren Elkins. These are guys who are not Michael Bisping, that are not physically gifted at all, bro. It's just, I'm right here and I ain't going nowhere. They took his eye, bro. They took Bisping's eye and he's fighting for a belt. You know, like it's like, I'm right here, but this is, I'll fight to this death. I'm a warrior, bro.
I'm a fucking warrior.
To me, with Sterling was like, yeah, bro, I bet he would have finished you in that next round. I would bet on that, bro, because like, to me, you were looking for that. You know, you were not looking for a way out. You still were trying to fight. Not saying you're a bitch or anything, but like, if there was a way out, you were going to take it and said you had a good fight.
And that's the thing. Like, when you see that, I think that's the closest you're going to get to seeing, you know, modern, or at least on TV, you know, in person, and when you're not experiencing it. You'll see that like warrior passion come out in people, like you're saying. You know, you'll see that warrior passion, that same passion you would see on the battlefield. Of like, they'll tell stories of me, dude. You know,
Joe Rogan talks about it, man. Darren Elkins versus Mirsad Bektic. Like, if anyone ever gets a chance, check out that fucking fight. Like, if you want to feel that right there, bro. That guy Darren Elkins, bro. Bektic was like a prospect, and Darren Elkins is like a white crackhead that has been training for 10 years. Bro, Bektic beat the shit out of that man for fucking 2.5 rounds, bro. I mean, just beating the shit out of him. Not one time did Elkins give up, bro. I mean, squirming, got blood all over the place. Can't even see. He's squirming, getting on takedowns. He's still throwing back against the cage, bro. In the third round, he catches that motherfucker and knocks him out, bro. And afterwards, man, there's this scream. Look it up, yo. Look it up in the YouTube record. Look up Darren Elkins winning scream. Bro, and when he beats Bektic, he does this fucking scream, bro, that like is so primal. Yeah, Elkins, Elkins.
That's right, Bektic.
Yeah, you could just probably just go to the fight, and then go the one above, all at the top, and then just go to the win at the end. So you can see him. He's got his ass kicked, bro. He's been getting his ass kicked the entire time. Gotta get some speakers.
I only the show over here. Look at this.
No, he catches him, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, but all you don't see is like
you might see his right victory. Away. He does it right away as soon as he gets the finish. On
it's.
Is this 3 rounds? Oh, there it is. There it is. Yeah. Wait, last second. Bam! Right here. Ah! If you could hear that.
I'm gonna mute it.
Put this on your ears and hear that when he knocks that dude out, bro.
Let's go.
And you can see it's literally last seconds.
I see them talking. They're screaming so hard.
Can you hear it?
You can barely hear it.
Okay, it might have been, yeah. There was a certain like thing ESPN did where you could hear like just his audio. You know how they do like the songs? Dude, and when he does that, bro, it's like, look at scream. Just look at, maybe. Victory yell or victory scream. When he does it, it's just, you can see in his face how primal it is, but like, you can picture, he's just like,
exactly.
Never gave up, bro.
You see all this.
What I've seen right there was like that village battle, dude. Like you caught me in the middle of the woods, but you sucker punched me, and I just started scrapping. But you had me stunned from the beginning. I never regained my wits. You've been fucking me up for 14.5 minutes, bro. But I'm still rolling on these branches. I'm rolling around. I'm still throwing back. I'm throwing elbows and everything, and I catch you out there, bro.
Kill him.
And there's no fans. There's no one around to even see what happened.
No.
But it's like, I just preserved my own life, on the brink of death. Mm-hmm. And you kill him, you bash his head, and you're just like, ah! You know what I mean?
Exactly,
like, bite a fucking tree trunk or something, dude. Like, bite his face or something. Like, some crazy shit.
I ate the man's heart.
Yeah.
I ate the man's heart.
I scalped him. Took his scalp, bro.
I needed a prize for that.
Yeah, bro. Seriously, man. Like, that is just some next level shit, dude. I love it. You'll never find it, bro. You
see a scream there. It's not even in the jaw. It's all over here. Where he's just like,
he's literally crying as he's screaming,
exactly,
bro.
Man. Because I mean, like, it just overcame such a great triumph. Like I said, like you probably, like if you're putting that, like you said, village aspect, we're like, you were losing that whole time. You thought you could lose your life maybe at one point. You know what I'm
Yeah, he
saying?
was trying to kill you. That's not like that guy was trying to kill you
Exactly.
for 14 and a half minutes. He was trying to kill you and was being successful in doing so. But you
And
just
you
did
didn't give
not
up.
give
Yeah.
up, bro. You got this. You know what I mean? Like, dude, Max Holloway put it the best I ever heard anybody put it the other day on Joe Rogan. He was saying, he's like, dude, he's like, you could have somebody with all the skills in the world, but they can't go to crazy town. That's what he called it. And he's like, then you could have somebody with no skills, but he can go to crazy town. That's what I used to always talk to you about before with Foley. Like, that's Foley's ability. You know what I mean? It's like he can go to that crazy town at any time and like get himself pumped up for this. Where like me and you, someone comes up and pushes you, it's gonna be hard to get mad at that person until you're mad, basically. For some people, it's like they can go. And Max was saying, he's like, some people can't never leave crazy town. You know, he's like, I'm so lucky because I got what do they call it? A round road trip to crazy world. He's like, I just come there, you know, for this one day, go to crazy world, you know, and then I can leave. I got, you know, it's like some people never leave. Some people don't even got the ticket. So you see these guys like Bektik. I told you he was an ultimate prospect, bro. He didn't have that crazy town ticket. Every skill in the world, wrestle his ass off, strike his ass off, everything. Didn't have that Darren Elkins, bro, where it's like, nah, bitch, you know, you can bloody everything on me, break everything on me. I'll fight till they fucking tell me I can't stop fighting.
Dude,
you know?
knock me out.
Or turn this light off, you know?
Exactly, yeah.
And I thought that was a good way to put it, man. You know, and then he's like, you got some people, you know, no skills. They just go to crazy town like Darren Elkins, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll just go to crazy town, bro.
And you just kind of like flick it on and off. You know?
How long can you gotta put me off? You gotta turn my lights off to take me out of crazy town.
Yeah.
I'm in crazy town till this is over.
Exactly.
You know?
And I'm going the whole way.
Yeah, bro.
We're going to the cards. You're gonna knock me out. Or I'm gonna knock you out. You know?
Yeah, I love it.
You know,
it's crazy, dude. It's crazy mentality, man.
I mean, you know, I mean, like it's also funny because I mean, like back then, you know, it's like one of those things that like, you know, humans, like I think all humans had at one point. Then once you got into like specialized labor, you had those people who could go to crazy. It's like, well, you can obviously see that man's a warrior.
Yeah.
And another guy, you're like, you can obviously see he's not a warrior. That man's a gatherer.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
it's like he belongs with the women. You know,
he curled up.
Yeah.
I caught him behind a berry tree in our last fight.
I think it might be easier when you know 100% of the time that your life is on the line. You know, it's just like you're just 100% fighting for survival.
You know what? I used to say the same thing, bro, and I don't know more, bro. I actually think it's the opposite, dude.
Oh yeah.
I actually think people are easier to cave when they know that their life's on the line because you know no help's coming, right? So a lot of times, like when people are getting their ass kicked in a fight, you know, it's like if I don't get knocked out, eventually someone will call the cops, someone will come break it up, something, you know. When you're in that Upham style, it's me and you in war in the middle of this room, bro. Like, I think it gets established in the beginning seconds of who's going to win that fight right there.
Oh, yeah,
like, it's just, it's felt. It's felt.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that person who knows he's at that disadvantage, you're kind of willing to succumb to it a little earlier than you would have if there was a public or something. That's really what I feel like, man. I feel like a lot of people, when it comes to it, they do this thing called faith, you know, where it's like, I'm going to close my eyes and just hope that the situation isn't real because I know I can't do nothing to stop it.
Yeah.
You know, I really do think there's a lot of people like that.
I think there's also a reason they call it fight or flight is because your brain will go two ways.
Yep. Dude,
you know?
Exactly.
You're going to fight or you're going to
And I don't think just because it's for your life means you're going to fight. I don't think so.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
I've seen it.
That's why they call it fight or flight because it's an instinct within an individual human and then your brain just goes one route or the other.
Like on that active self-protection, bro. One pissed me off so much the other day. Like guy comes in, he's robbing it's like some video game store or something. He puts the gun to the guy right away. The guy gets on the ground in the fetal position and like curls up like this. And he's like, get the fuck up. Before he even said anything, he's like, get the fuck up. And he's talking to the guy. He's like, where the fuck's the money? You know, he gives him the money at a register and he's like, where's the other money? He's like, the other register's over there. Dude, the guy sits his gun down in front of this man, goes over to the other register and starts putting the cash in there. That man got back in the fetal position, bro, on the ground. Back in the fetal position, bro.
Man.
The dude came over, grabbed a gun, and left.
I just imagine the guy who narrates that Well, look, this is just one thing you don't want to do, okay?
Yeah, that's what he always said.
It's like you just go ball up and you're just gonna hope for the best.
Yeah.
That's not what you want to do. That's why you practice and prepare.
Right.
Yeah, that's why we do these videos, because you don't want to find yourself in a situation like this.
He's the one I told
curl
you
up.
that where he was saying like he's the one that said like 2 things I'll never let him do: bound me or relocate me.
Yeah.
He's like, once you say one of those things, I know it's time to fight. Like that's it.
Yep.
You know. So I'm not saying that guy was in the wrong or anything. At the end of the day, it might be safer to just not even grab that guy.
Yeah.
I didn't like the coward and fear part.
Yeah.
You know. Well, like I've seen guys get robbed and not even flinch. Not saying that's what you should do, but like, dude, hold some standard. You know, don't. That dude could have stuck that gun in his ass if he wanted to, bro.
Yeah.
You know, like at the end of the day, I know this is one man, and he's probably a bitch behind that ski mask. He's probably someone
Behind a gun too.
someone
you know?
I've seen around here before, and I've seen a lot of bitches. He's fragile. It's not like he's some body built motherfucker. You know, I'm sitting there thinking like, man, I want to get this motherfucker. I hope I get the hand on that guy. I'm gonna blow this motherfucker brains out right here on this fucking GameStop floor.
Yeah, exactly,
you know what I mean? We're gonna make a story out of this.
Look at this, dummy.
Literally.
Dummy.
Suck this like a dick.
Bitch.
That's what I would do.
Pistol whip his dumb ass.
I don't know. And my shit always goes to gay shit because, like, I can't think of another way to hurt a man.
You want to humiliate him.
You know what I mean?
You know,
Yeah. Like,
manhood.
I'm always like,
You
I'm
know?
gonna fuck this dude. Fuck this dude in his ass. That's the worst thing I can think to do, dude.
I'm just sitting
Shove
there.
something in your ass or something. If I shove something in your ass, it's immune. But like, if I literally stick my dick in your ass, dude, like bro, this one
you got
completely backwards
we're
for
both
you.
in the store. You got him on the ground and you're like, hold it, Steve. I'm just like, all right. And you're like, I'm gonna fuck him. I'm just like,
yeah.
Am I? I'm gonna sit there.
He could have fucked you. I was gonna do the gay shit, dude.
Yeah, I guess that's all. I guess we have to do it. I guess it's
fuck him, Mike.
I'm gonna watch.
Record it, Steve.
I'm gonna watch.
Make him suck the dick like. Make him suck the guy like a dick.
I just put it out of his mouth. I'm like, I do that one scene where I forgot what scene it was, where he's like, and when it comes, you're just like rubbing your hand through his
I
hand.
forget what movie that is too.
You're just
You're grabbing by his head, you know. You're like,
I mean, I understand it though, because like for me, it's like, I not only do I want to humiliate you, but I want you to feel that like powerlessness for a moment, you know?
Right?
And feel that power I have over you.
That's what
You know
I
what I'm
always
saying?
say. Like that's what I'm saying with that type of guy. It's like, okay, you were only here to rob me, but the way you came in, you could have did anything you wanted. So what you're saying, it was up to you what you did to me that day.
Yeah.
And now roles are reversed. And I'm not supposed to act accordingly. You know what I mean? That's how I feel.
I got you.
No. What you're not understanding, it's like the same thing with the cup thing. Like, that's what I'm saying. The same thing how I retaliate in the cup. What you're not understanding is it's the same situation. You just chose to only rob. It's not about what you chose to do. It's not about the robbing part. It's the situation you put me in.
Mhm.
The defenseless situation where you could have done anything you wanted to do.
Exactly. Yeah.
You chose to rob.
Yeah.
I don't need your money. You have no money on you. I'm in the same position now where you're defenseless. And I choose to fuck.
I won't bet.
You know? I just think about that guy. Like, think about that guy before he robs him. He's like, man, I don't want to get caught. He's thinking about like all the things that could go wrong. He's like, I just don't want to get caught. He's like, this is so risky, man.
Yeah.
It's like, he never thought it was gonna go backwards like that.
That's how I'm geeking. I'm sitting here because I'm like, I don't think necessarily like fucking him, but like I think I'm humiliating him. But you're sitting here because you give me the gun. You're trying to convince me that the route is to fuck him. I'm just like, yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I guess you're right, Mike.
Yeah, fuck him.
Wasn't really all the other shit you said. I wasn't really happy about.
Should we just call the cops? No, Steve. We should fuck off.
Just like, yeah, I think you're right, man.
I love the way you're doing that. I like when you said guess. I like guess, not
yeah, I guess you're right.
Yeah, I guess. No, you gotta keep me in. It's like the perfect little say. You know, it's just like, yeah, I guess you're right, man. Yeah, you should fuck him. He's good. And you look at him.
Right.
You look at him. You're like,
do I watch?
You look at him in the eyes. You're like, he's gonna fuck you.
Like I reaffirm to Rena's face like this. I'm just like, yeah.
Like point the guy over. You know what I mean?
Proper
You're
form.
like, he's gonna fuck
I
you.
proper form too. I'm sitting there. I'm like leaning into it, and it's like, yeah. There you go. I'm just like into the recoil.
Fuck you.
That's where I think he might get the most scared because I'll just start geeking. And it's like I'm sitting there geeking in his face as I'm saying that he's gonna fuck you. I'm like, bro, if anyone did that to me, I would be the most scared.
I bet you like as soon as we get done, as soon as we get done though, it's like, all right, bro, you want me to call the cops? Or you can just leave. Imagine you call the cops. You're like, you trying to rob us. They're like, let me see the security camera.
So
we ain't got nothing.
Yeah,
it's like everywhere though.
We lie about the fucking. They're like, dude, okay, look, we did a rape kit. We did a rape kit. We found both your semen in his ass.
Both. Steve, I went to the back for 1 minute. You're just like, I thought you meant both of us.
I saw you take his butt out once, but
are you sure we weren't framed?
My
semen's all over this town.
I mean, just them coming back, like, yeah, we did a rape kit on him. It was like,
I'm like, no, he came in here. He was going to rob us. Seen both of us were two attractive gay men.
He's an estranged
ex consensually.
He's an estranged ex. We fucked beforehand. It didn't go good afterwards. He came and wanted to rob us for some payback.
He came in here at gunpoint and forced me to fuck him.
It was something weird power fantasy he had.
Prove I'm lying.
Power fantasy he had.
Prove I'm lying.
I got a witness. What about him?
It's not my gun. It's not my gun. You know that. You know he came in with a gun.
Where I get a gun? Where I get a gun? But I mean, yeah, the point, it's all about humiliation. I'm going to get my one over the dude. That's why I always think about people robbing me. That's why I always want to carry something on me. Just because I want to see that power transfer.
Yeah.
Like I got a knife or something. They got a knife.
Bro, that's what I'm talking about, Steve. That right there. That's the perfect way to put it. The power transfer.
Yeah.
That's what I want. And I love it. I love it so much, you know? That's what I'm saying. Like, okay, you want to rape my kid? I want to tie you up in a room, you know what I mean? Record you getting trains ran
That's
on
why
you.
I always thought about, like, you know, like when super villains would kind of get like the one up on the superhero and they would do that crazy maniacal laugh. Like, that's why I imagined it to be. We're just like, so you just got a fucking gun, you know, and you just see a transfer the dude's face. He just starts dipping, and you're just like, oh, but
right in the back.
Right in the back. Exactly. You're just smoking gun and everything, man. I mean, just seeing that, I think the feeling, you know, like I think you would just knowing you went from like, you know, you're just sitting there. It's like you always talk about. We're just like, you know, you thought you had a victim. It's just, you know, you had like you ever said that meme where it's like, oh, call ambulance,
bro, you know,
but not for me. You know, you put up the gun. Yeah, exactly. You know, just like, exactly.
What you think of though, bro? I'm gonna bring my phone, man. I'm downloading the Amazon Prime. I got that crime investigation app thing now, but I'm gonna straight download that episode. I want you to hear about. I'll play it out there late at night. You know what I mean? We're in a tent. We got nothing else to do.
Exactly. Yeah.
Pop that on. We go to bed. Just check it out. Smoke some bunch of something. You know what I mean?
It's case of a portable speaker. She did have one, didn't she?
I do. I do have a portable speaker. Yeah.
That's pretty.
I mean, I got the iPhone. It's pretty loud, you know, and we're in a tent, so
yeah,
maybe I will bring it just in case.
Yeah.
But I'll download that one I always told you about with the old man.
Yeah.
Because that's what that is, bro.
That'll be crazy in the woods around a campfire. We're just like,
listen to that, bro.
Oh shit,
bro.
Man. Oh shit. Oh shit.
But that's how he is on there, bro. Where it's like, dude, like I told you, they stole his war medals, dude.
Yeah.
And it's like once he does shoot people in the back, and he still goes up to them, you know, and they're talking. Like I'm not going to tell you it all, man. I want you to like hear it on acid.
Yeah,
you know,
that's the thing. That's gonna be crazy.
Yeah, bro.
Bro.
We still acid.
It's so crazy, bro.
Yeah, bro. In the woods.
That's even wild, dog.
I'm kind of worried we don't got a gun. I wish I had a gun.
Like pitch black, bro. It'd be
no, bro. If someone comes with a gun, we would be the
That would be insane, bro. But I mean, like, I'm just thinking adrenaline and acid is just like, I don't know what I'm capable of right there, bro. You might just stumble across the most dangerous humans you ever met.
You think so?
I don't know.
Really,
bro.
what do you think? Really, what do you think?
I mean, like the acid has you going, adrenaline picks up.
But you know they tried LSD on soldiers before and it doesn't work.
I mean, I just don't know.
Listen.
I just don't know. Your mind just might think of just other shit.
I hear you, but I think I'm pretty sharp right here. You know, I'm pretty sharp right now as what I am right now. I feel like I got a good set of way to get out of things.
Acid might hinder that. You think?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Also, probably like the worst trip ever. Like,
I don't know what might happen. Like, you just may be like in so much paranoia and fear to where like you might act irrationally and do some crazy shit that no one ever expected.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, where I'm just like, you don't know what you might be capable of while you got that shit going through you.
That's true.
With the fear setting in for like a first time occurrence every now, you know, in the
like,
woods.
I look at
no
you.
one's taking my butt.
I look at you. And I look at the ground. You look at the ground. We didn't say nothing. I kick the end of this bush. It goes up in the air. You grab it. Hey, I'd spear
Single
the other
leg.
dude.
Single leg.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Single leg. I got it. Oh, you're getting fucked.
Oh boy! Oh boy! We just started jumping. Oh, you don't know. We play them on our podcast. You know that little part. Like,
Yeah.
listen. We always talk about it. We got them all tied up. He's hog tied with like the gag thing, and we just got the screen in front of him. It's like, watch this part. See what we said we would do.
Yeah.
See what we said. It's the power transfer.
Yeah. We play the self protection where it's like you never let one be bound. You never be bound. You fight back. It's like,
See
look,
this part.
oh, look, you already failed. You're bound, bro.
You're
bound.
You're fucked. Literally.
You got your gun, bro.
So we go two-way this bitch, Steve?
Split roast.
Knock his teeth out first.
I was gonna say, don't put nothing in his mouth.
That's why they knocked their teeth out, bro.
Exactly. Oh my god, bro.
Yeah.
Oh. I was thinking the other day because I was thinking about law-abiding citizen, and I was thinking about how it would torture a man if I had to get revenge or like get information. I'm just like, man, I just like that'd be so easy. You know, like
nothing you can name though beats dick in the ass, bro. I mean, I'm sorry. I know it sounds weird, but like nothing. I'm thinking about person. Like you're torturing me.
Crazy shit in the ass, you know.
Anything you say, bro. Any amount of pain you could say, I would say, all right, I'll deal with it or die from it. You know, like cut off a chunk of my skin, cut a finger off, whatever it is.
See, I think of shit like like take a Dremel to your teeth. You know, just like some crazy shit.
Dude, you wouldn't take that over a dick in the ass or like your dick cut off,
bro.
dude?
I don't know, bro. I don't know, man. I really don't fucking know, man.
I feel like I'll take that all
day
day
just
long,
like,
bro.
I just like, and then
but I might die from that, which is like, okay, thank you. But like, they could train me for weeks, dude. Like, I don't think you know what I mean. Like, it's not just I'm gonna fuck you once and you die type of thing.
God.
It's like I'm talking about someone
that.
fucking you to death, dude.
That.
Like multiple dudes for weeks coming in there, and you're just tied to a table, dude, and they just come in there and fuck you. You don't think nothing like that's never happened, dude?
Oh hell yeah,
that's
bro.
happened.
Hell yeah, bro.
That's extracted info.
Well, I remember,
I'm just like I just picture like you're about to fuck me in the ass. I'm like, please, Dremel on my teeth. Please.
When they were talking about there was one of the prisons in Iraq where they held prisoners of war, and it was an army ran prison, and they were talking about the shit that went on in there. You know why I got shut down, the whole controversy. I mean, they used to do shit like that. They would sodomize them. They would, as the men, they would have the female soldiers walk the men around on leashes naked, you know?
Bro, I told you a true story, dog. I don't know if you remember. I told you about my great-grandfather, bro. That's a true fucking story, yo. The Vietnamese stuck a glass rod in my great-grandfather's dick,
Oh,
bro.
yeah, bro. The Vietnamese were
stuck a quarter-inch hole, bro, and broke it.
Yeah, the Vietnamese
crushed the fucking glass in his dick, dude.
Definitely savage. And
lost his dick. You know, he lived. Lost his dick, but lived.
Yeah. You know, hey, got your life, you know?
I guess he must have had my family before that.
Yeah, I mean, most people did, you know, when they were getting ready
going
to
off the
families,
war,
you know,
go off the war, have a baby.
You know, like I remember,
I'll be back in time. He's 2.
One of my friends, she tells me about a professor she used to have. He was a teacher, you know, at the time, you know, and then he got drafted and pretty much kind of like, you know, fucked everything up from there. You know, like he still deals with PTSD. He became a professor again when he came back home, but like, you know, he was just like he wanted to be a teacher and never was a soldier. You know, they don't worry about drafted soldiers; they just needed bodies.
Yep.
You know, so then you got this guy going to Vietnam, throwing bodies in a pile at the end of the day. You know, taking a village. And
none of them did foot trekked 10-year conquest though, man. It's just like different level of what they used to do, right?
Yeah.
Nowadays, like get helicoptered there, you fly out of the sky, you drop in, you fight a battle.
You have comms the whole time.
Yeah, you know, there's so much shit. We're like these dudes, like you knew I was coming 1,000 miles away. You've been preparing this fortress for 2 days from your. I'm saying like with Alexander the Great and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, with that, yeah. I'm saying as far as like I'm trekking to take over your land, you got scouts.
Yeah.
You see my whole army coming to your front door, bro. You knew 2 months ago. That still took me all this time to get here. Yeah. You know, like there's no surprise attack really. When you're bringing an army of 5,000 people on foot.
That's the thing that's crazy to me is like you just kind of it's like a walking city because like you just go, you set up your camp, everyone will chill out, get rest. There's a hunting party that goes out, get food, the whole thing. Like it's just like secure your water. It's just like, man, what the fuck?
God, that does seem cool.
We was on some goddamn.
It's like really
shit,
some man shit.
We were on some fucking shit,
some
bro.
Conquest.
And then like I mean like especially when we think about like you know when you watch the movie 300, and you're just like, well, of course this is played up, but something like this went down. You know, we're like,
dude, that legit happened.
Yeah, exactly.
300.
You know? Yeah.
Oh, you know what are they called?
And
Arcedonians or whatever.
That setting was very accurate.
Dude, everything about that is 100% true as far as what happened. It's just not no immortals and monsters and shit like that.
Shit, you know what I'm saying? Well, I mean, what they hypothesized.
They led them through that passage, though, and it really did come from somebody that backstabbed them and told them.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. And like I said, that setting where like it was like they were on like a cliff. There was like a big wall. Like they only had to go along this pathway, So
and they also the Persian Navy also did take that loss from like the storm and shit. There's a lot of shit that was true. They did end up dying, but
it's like all the theatrics,
Yeah,
like, that's
make the movie better.
Yeah, exactly.
One of the best. One of the best movies of all time, if you ask me.
Yeah. I always forget that's fucking Gerard Butler.
I know, it's crazy. I was thinking
I'm like, I just don't see it. It
was awesome. He did great.
Hell yeah, hell yeah, bro.
I want to go back and watch Gladiator too, man. I've seen it a bunch of times.
That's on Netflix.
That's Russell Crowe.
That's on Netflix now. Yeah.
Are you not entertained?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
love it.
And the fucking
I just love it.
And at that point, you're not even fighting for.
And they take his
war,
woman,
you're just fighting for entertainment,
rape and kill his family.
Just fighting for entertainment. It's just wild.
And he's just a farmer, it was a soldier, farmer in the middle of nowhere, and they just sent a squad out there to kill him. And
entertainment, bro.
What can he do, man?
Yeah,
no, I'm saying like when they first did it, he was actually a soldier for the army.
Yeah,
a successful one. They sent the king the king backstabbed him, or the king's son backstabbed him, and sent. I don't think that's fact shit. That's like all fictional movie. The king sends like 20 soldiers literally to his house while him and his wife are like playing with the kid, and fucking murders both of them and takes him. And that's when he becomes a gladiator. He's about to get killed. He ended up getting bought, and like he wasn't allowed to fight for his freedom. So that's when he eventually like led that little rebellion to get the gladiators to fight together.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't imagine being in a position where like you're fighting for just like entertainment, and you're killing people.
That's why he says at the end, are you not entertained?
Exactly, yeah.
Is this what you want, basically, is what he's saying?
Yeah, people are going crazy, like, I mean, like, it was an organized combat sport.
I like that thing I just said the other day, like, okay, what if I told you that a lion was going to fight a man? Would you go see it?
Yeah.
$50?
Yeah, I might go see it,
It's crazy, right?
Well, nowadays,
why would you go see that?
Nowadays, it's a little different. Like, back then, I mean, like...
Why would you go see that, though?
You want to see a man fight an animal?
Do you? What? There ain't no fight, right? The lion's gonna kill him, right?
I mean,
it's basically, would you go see a lion maul a man?
Well, I mean, I think if they were selling it, I'm not think I'm expecting a lion feeding. You know what I'm saying? Like, expect a battle.
But I just laid out what I told you. Don't expect nothing.
I mean,
answer what I gave you.
Yeah, that's what I'm expecting.
No battle. The lion mauls him and kills him.
Oh no!
You're watching a lion eat a man.
Yeah. Possibly, possibly, what I'm saying, and that's what I'm saying, like, especially in like Roman times,
it's so purgy though.
I feel like especially during Roman
until
times,
they want to throw your little nephew in there.
That's what I'm saying, especially during Roman times, bro.
Have you guys no pride?
Roman times, bro.
Like, Steve, you got season passes, dude. Now it's your nephew. Don't want us to go?
Look, I'm just saying, there's a reason. There's a spectacle behind it. There's a reason that type of thing existed. As obviously people wanted to watch it. I would go see I would go to Colosseum, in the ancient Roman times. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, in that time, but in this time, I don't think I would do that.
You know what I'm saying?
Roman at that point, I'm thinking like, dude, who's deciding who goes in there? Who's deciding who's making money off this? Because it ain't me. That's what I want to know. Who's making money? Are you telling me my government's making money on throwing these shows, or is it Jeff Bezos is throwing these shows now?
That's what I'm saying.
Fuck these
I'm thinking about like when those things actually existed. Like
Roman times. And that's the thing.
It did cost money because only like nobility was going to these fights.
If Bezos could have his way, he would throw, the slowest employee in there.
I'm sure like he just looks over Amazon warehouse floors, just be like
peasants. I could do so much better.
I mean, like, I just can't imagine like you're sitting there and you're just like, wow, they make 15 hourly. And you're just sitting here making fucking hundreds of thousands a second. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it just seems
they gave us $1,000.
It seems so ridiculous. It just seems so ridiculous. Like,
I think it's ridiculous they think you can live off $15 an hour.
I just think it's even crazy that like anyone in a position of like money making like that could just sit here and just be like, I mean, especially someone like Bezos, when you're looking and you're like, well, there's a reason you come, now you don't come to Baltimore just for the port. But you have a huge workforce to exploit here.
That's what I was saying before, like, bro. He got eight warehouses over there now.
Yeah,
but that's what I was saying to you before, bro. Where it's like, okay, that's what I'm saying. You're evil because no matter what, even if you continue the business, say that's my business. I got 100 warehouses. I make $1 billion, bro. Every dollar from here, I'm splitting up from the people that work for me. Yeah. I'm giving bonus packages, health insurance,
either
whatever it is.
Or you invest into something where it's like, you do the insurance, the benefits. and then you invest in a workplace that's like, of course efficient, but also caters to like employees. You know what I'm saying? We're like,
Yeah, but people want money. People want to get paid.
But like I would also like, instead of figure out how to make like the most bare bones, like efficient, like, soul sucking warehouse that Amazon is,
make it a little funner. Yeah,
it'd be progressive, it'd be like, okay,
yeah.
like you get your generous breaks and like, and shit
Let's
like
just
that.
say he boosts everybody to $20 an hour. What does Amazon lose overnight? Like, what is that? Let's say it's $1 billion a year that he loses by bumping everybody to $20 an hour. Now you're worth $76 billion.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm saying, bro. How can you tell
so
me
crazy,
that person
man.
ain't evil, Steve?
It's so crazy, man.
How?
Especially when like especially when you're talking about like, especially if your company is like, everyone's making money, you're solvent, everything's good.
You've
like
you can literally money 50 times.
You can literally, just like put that in, exactly, man.
But
like
you still pay a person 15, like. Just weird, bro. Even if you said, "Hey,
it's like
know what? My job's $25. Everybody's got to pass a drug test. Everybody's got to have a GED. No back. You can say whatever you want,
And this is the other thing.
I'll just hire this bottom
of the bottom. This is the other thing. It's like, you're sitting here. You're like, okay, well, why does Amazon go and then spend money into like trying to build rockets? Blue Horizon. Why are they trying to go do that? Like, this is where you're putting your raises at. You're putting in the R&D for these motherfucking rockets for some reason. You're already fucking a million times behind SpaceX.
I told you about those, didn't I?
Yeah, the Blue Horizons.
I told you why they do that stuff, though, right? All billionaires are always going to do something like that. It's always going to be something. Like Michael Bloomberg ran for president.
But that's what I'm saying, bro. It's like, instead of like actually paying your people, you're putting this investment money into like fucking, rockets.
I explained this to you there before where I learned it, where it's like they're actually not spending money, bro. They're actually saving money. It's hard to get it, but he's actually spending money that would go to us, is what he's doing on those rockets. It's the death tax, bro. It's just like Michael Bloomberg knew. So Michael Bloomberg is worth what? $90 billion. If he dies, 24% of that would go to New York City, right? So instead, he spends that 24%. He's going to blow it on whatever, rockets, presidential debate, whatever you tell him, the yachts, anything. Because if not, it just goes back to the people. That's why I was breaking down the percentages. At this point, it's not as fresh in my head, but they ran the numbers on it. And like the tax that he pays on those dollars he's spending on presidential, or like Jeff Bezos is spending on Blue Origin, it's somewhere around the range of like 18 to 19% taxed. Where if they died and like that natural death tax hit them, we'd be getting 25 to 26% of that into our economy.
Yeah, and
they're actually saving money.
And that's the thing.
Crazy.
But that's the thing. That's all cool and fine. But you can just put that 26% into your people's wages. I mean, like, just.
But then
it says going somewhere else. That's what I'm saying. Like, whatever way you want to like put it.
Rocket, Steve.
Whatever way you want to put it, it's dumb and ridiculous.
How about you just save up enough to get in my rocket? What, $15 an hour? I'll pay you $15 an hour, and you save $250,000. You get my rocket.
Yeah, and that's the thing. That's why, like, that's why they don't care about turnover rate. Because they know they have a huge workforce and economy in Baltimore City that's struggling. With surrounding areas that are struggling, you have you have an untapped labor force, and you're always going to have so many people to hire.
Dude, they put up 8 buildings. I don't know if anybody knows that. I had to count them the other day. There's 8 Amazon buildings,
bro, and there's more down in the near the Edgewood facility, like down where like North Point is and whatnot, North Point State Park.
Oh, really?
Down that way, if you go down near 6095, you see more warehouses. There's just a huge FedEx warehouse right off there near the port. And there's like another 2 or 3 back there, bro, behind there and shit, bro.
That's scary.
Like they have a lot going on here, bro. That's why this area gets like that 2-hour delivery shit on some items, bro. Because they have the infrastructure here to go and mobilize that.
I just don't even like that there's that many big buildings, dude. I'm to the point now where like I see why like natives would always call like technology like the devil and shit. Like I really do feel like that. Like I'm at the point now where I'm like, when will you stop?
Right.
You're always gonna try and build a stronger car, a higher building.
Look,
you're always gonna do it, bro.
I forgot the woman's name, but I was listening to this TED Talk, and pretty much what this lady was saying was that, like, what she was trying pretty much breaking down is like the way, of course, with capitalism, the way the economy is set up, and when you see like, earnings and like stock reports and shit like that, you're always looking for an increase in business. You're always looking for sales growth. You're always looking for growth, and that's what the economy's tailored to, is to just keep growing, rather than actually being sustainable and providing the things for people. You know what I'm saying? We're like, okay, look, the economy's gotten to a big enough point. All right, well, instead of just like trying to spend more as a government, put it into the people's hands,
Right.
to circulate
Exactly.
it, and build,
Fuck yeah.
build your economies around,
rebuild your infrastructure,
build your
healthcare system,
around shit like
your education system.
Was it the infancy mortality rate, like combating shit like that, combating some of the biggest plagues or health
Right.
Things that your
veteran
nation,
homelessness, mental
Exactly.
illnesses.
You look at these warehouses and you're just like, man, how many people can you put a home for in this bitch?
And that's what I was trying to I was trying to explain to Dave. I'm like, look, bro. He's like, well, somebody's gonna do that. I'm like, bro, why is one person getting to do it all though? Like, why can't we at least why can't we as a country? Why is it so wrong for me to say, bro, Jeff, you made $30 billion, dude. Like, you're done. Like, you just need to stop. Like, I don't even care no more. You're done with this here. Like, this money has to be put somewhere else. You can't just keep taking all of the money out of our state. What would me and you do if there was no Amazon, right? We would go to our local stores and spend our money there. That's where you would put your money. Instead, you just give it all to Amazon, all of my Amazon. And we all love the service.
Mm-hmm.
It's too much, bro. Why should one person be receiving so many benefits, man?
And that's the other thing. It was only up until recently where Amazon Prime became this huge thing of like 2 hour, like 2 day delivery type shit. You know what I'm saying? Like within the last like 5 years, I wasn't around like 2012. You weren't getting second day shit. You know what I'm saying? Like we barely had Netflix in 2012. You know what I'm saying?
We gave them that infrastructure.
And this is the thing. Like, we're sitting there and we're like, okay, well, like, we spent so much time. It's like the classic saying, we spent so much time thinking of like, of how to implement this thing, and instead of asking, should we? Right. So, like everyone did fine when you ordered that package and it came in 5 days. Everyone did just fucking fine. Everyone lived perfectly fine. It was just accept the fact that would come in 5 days rather than fucking 2 days.
And not to mention, right? Like you see these issues like fucking, Baltimore riots. You don't see fucking Amazon, this big ass company donating any money, supporting even, the cops, making a statement at the very least. Bezos making a statement. We're very sorry, about this town that we make billions from, like you don't even see that type of shit for them type of people. Like it doesn't give a fuck, bro. This place could burn to the fucking ground, and he would say our warehouse is still up,
bro. What do you think happened when that freak tornado hit down the port near Halliburton, and then half that building collapsed? Well, not half, but like that corner in the Amazon warehouse. Did you ever hear about that?
No.
So there was a tornado that touched down briefly right there off the port, and touched down right next to the Amazon building, and pretty much smacked it pretty much right on the on its like side that's facing Halliburton right there. That first corner you got, it collapsed in. And I think like one person ended up dying in that collapse. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's what caused that buying of the warehouses around it. Because while that was unoperational, he had to move somewhere else and immediately like make it kind of work and get that transfer going to keep your services going. You know what I'm saying? In that port area. So I think that's what influenced all that.
I do not remember that. That's crazy.
Yeah. Let me see if
I've told you about how they're built before, man. Those things are sketch.
I remember like
it's just big slabs.
You saw exactly. We saw when they were being put up off Halliburton right there, bro.
I've been there when they put them up, bro.
Yeah.
I did the windows immediately after they put them. They put them up. Yep. They fucking whatever they do, masonry that in between gap, and next thing you know, I'm putting windows in that already have holes cut out for me.
Exactly.
Crazy, dude.
Roof collapse, Baltimore. That should correct it for me. Yeah, 2-day partial building collapse at Baltimore. Yeah, and so like that's like you said, like those structures were not rated for any type of like freak weather like that.
They're trash.
So when this tornado smacked them like that, this bitch just fucking collapsed.
They have nothing on the inside, dude. There's nothing on the inside holding them together.
Yeah, so
it's like Jenga blocks.
So that resulted in an EF1 tornado, so like the weakest tornado that you can have.
And it knocked that thing down.
And yeah. And like with the loss of the roof, the 8-inch concrete wall panels pushed in and collapsed into the building.
8 inches ain't shit.
Yeah.
First of all, just think about that.
That's your only wall.
Dude, just think about that. 8 inches.
That's your wall.
8 inches.
Yeah.
Nothing. Yeah. That's literally nothing, bro.
And like I said, then the roof was just
they're made of like they're not even full concrete. They have like I don't know what it's called, but it's like that white wire in that like you see inside of concrete.
Exactly, yep.
It's that on the inside, bro, with like insulation foam and then like an outside, probably like a 1 inch of concrete.
Exactly.
They're so cheap, dude.
Yeah, exactly. They're throwing
and look what happens. Yep. I wonder if that family got money or something, man. I hope so.
I mean, I have no idea. I'm sure we maybe.
But what's it do, man? What's it do for them? The fucking person's dead.
Yeah,
fucking wall collapse.
That was the dude Dave Clark. What he tweeted. Response teams have been working through the night. Our thoughts and prayers go to out to those impacted by
severe weather.
It's just so like, it's just so bare bones and just
I hate
grind
these
is fucking,
motherfuckers, man.
disgusting.
Fuck you, Amazon. Fuck you, Bezos. Fuck all you fucking rich ass fucking billionaires that don't do shit
Fucking-
for your people, man.
Zach Ryan fuels us.
Love y'all. Thank you, Zach. Thank you, Zach.
This motherfucker
Fuck them,
fuels us,
dog.
man.
Taking all the goddamn money, make enough money, 10 times fucking fold, and we'll never give it back to the people, bro. Just keep letting one person receive it all. Fuck them. Fuck them, Zach. Fuck this place. I'll fucking start a goddamn vigilante group. We're going over there and blow that fucking Amazon factory off its goddamn cheap ass fucking base that it's got. Love you all. Keep checking us out. Stay safe. We're going Appalachian Trail, 40 fucking miles in 30 fucking hours.
Living off the land.
We don't
get
know
off the
shit.
woods.
We got our fucking tent. We're out. Show my fucking tent's
You know the
ready.
motto?
We're going fuck out here. Fucking 4-person tent. We'll be fucking out here. Thriving and surviving. Not surviving.
We'll figure it out.
Thriving.
We'll figure
it out. Love you all. Have a good night.
Y'all have a good day, man. Thank you. Like, share, and subscribe. We appreciate it.